The pace car is off at turn 4. It turns down onto the pit road. The field now under the control of the pole sitter. That's James Hinchcliffe, and what a story he's been. They look beautiful coming off at turn 4. Alignment through the first 4 or 5. That is a nice-looking field as they come down. The 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. Green flag is out, and they are streaming for turn 1.
And James Hinchcliffe wasting no time. He jumps right out in front. Ryan Hunter-Reay running side by side with Joseph Newgarden in the short chute into turn 2.
Front half of the field, clean through the short chute. Tony Kanaan already dicing it up. He'll go from the top of the racetrack to the bottom. Jake Query, the field is clean out of turn number 2.
The 100th installment of the Indianapolis 500 right now is 3/4 the way to starting the way it did in 2012 with James Hinchcliffe in the lead. But Ryan Hunter-Reay, the 2014 winner, sweeps around in turn number 4.
On the north side of the track, it's Ryan Hunter-Reay with the lead. Hinchcliffe is second. That's how they'll finish the first lap.
About a 4-car length advantage for Ryan Hunter-Reay at the start-finish slide. A move to the high side. That's Townsend Bell in turn number 1.
Ryan Hunter-Reay's 83rd lap lead here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Side by side for number 3.
Boy, there was just about contact there too, Jerry Baker. Townsend Bell slipped around the American of Joseph Newgarden, so moved Bell into the 3rd position.
Ryan Hunter-Reay now the leader halfway up the backstretch. Setting up now for turn number 3. It's Hunter-Reay, Hinchcliffe, then you've got Bell, Newgarden, and Will Power out of 3.
That yellow and red DHL machine, Ryan Hunter-Reay, has the lead by about 2 car lengths on James Hinchcliffe.
James Hinchcliffe with a strong run up of turn number 4. Takes a peek to the high side, and in turn number 1, they're side by side.
Hinchcliffe last year in the hospital when this race was run. He has retaken the lead, and Ryan Hunter-Reay jumps into the number 2 spot.
And the fans jump to their feet as that gold and black Honda for James Hinchcliffe streaks past the suites in turn number 2. New leader Jake gets the pole sitter.
Here we go. James Hinchcliffe once again setting up for the spot where Hunter-Reay got him on lap number 1. Taking a look to the inside of that Robert Graham machine is Joseph Newgarden, but he'll stay in 4th.
About a 1-car length advantage as Hunter-Reay looks to the inside. Hinchcliffe, though, has the lead by about a car length.
Bit of a 4-car breakaway. Hinchcliffe all of a sudden sees some company to his left. Ryan Hunter-Reay.
And they will come side by side, and Ryan Hunter-Reay will make that move and get that spot in the south end of the race course.
That 4-car tandem may become 5 very quickly. Here comes the Chevrolet of Will Power. He'll streak out of turn number 2 in 5th, Jake.
Yellow is the predominant color at the front of this field in a race that so far has been all green. Right now, Joseph Newgarden again takes a look to the outside, tried to work Townsend Bell for 3rd, but can't make the move.
But it's still Ryan Hunter-Reay, about a 3-car length lead now in the north side of the track. Left side tires on the white line. He's about a 4-car length advantage over Hinchcliffe.
Newgarden continues to flirt with 3rd from that 4th position. Will Power trying to pull up along with the 26 of Carlos Munoz.
Newgarden couldn't get the job done. It's looking to be Ryan Hunter-Reay. Beautiful start to this 500.
Hunter-Reay out of turn number 2. He leads Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden, and Will Power your top 5.
Last time out of 2, Graham Rahal went a little bit low, kicked up a little bit of that oil dry. Right now, James Hinchcliffe slings his way around Ryan Hunter-Reay. Hinchcliffe back in front out of 3.
So a new leader on the north end of the track, and it's James Hinchcliffe from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Our pole sitter, about 5-car length advantage.
Nothing new about this. Tony Kanaan is +7 already into the top 10. Hinch with a 3-car advantage into turn 1.
Coming into the race, Hinch had led only 26 laps here at the Speedway, and now we're starting to stretch it out just a little bit over Ryan Hunter-Reay.
And this is kind of what we expect all day long. When you're out in front, you're not going to be able to stay there for long. Leaders off of turn number 2. Here comes Hunter-Reay down the backstretch. Jake looking for the lead.
Ryan Hunter-Reay has about a 2-car length advantage to try to make up, and he's going to do exactly that. Ducks to the inside. Ryan Hunter-Reay back around that arrow machine for 1st.
It seems like each time in the short chute on the north end, we have a new leader, and it is Ryan Hunter-Reay, about a 5-6-car length advantage as Townsend Bell putting pressure on James Hinchcliffe.
Bell is fairly comfortable in 3rd, so much so he won 2nd. Tries to go side by side into 1.
And he's still going to get that job done. Put the left side wheels right down on the left side on the white line in a battle for the first 10 positions.
That gives Hunter-Reay an opportunity to stretch that lead out. He'll go to about 5 to 6 car lengths. Battle Jake Query maybe for 3rd as Joseph Newgarden all over the rear wing of Townsend Bell.
Rich Canary yellow of Hunter-Reay in 1st. Then you've got Hinchcliffe. Then behind him, Townsend Bell, Newgarden, Will Power. That's the front 5 in the north end.
Yeah, they are starting to get closer to those front 4 cars, but still a good lead for Ryan Hunter-Reay out of 4.
We mentioned Kanon's +7. He's now +9. Marco Andretti +6 as the leaders head back to turn 1.
We are watching Townsend Bell. He appears to be sitting behind Ryan Hunter-Reay and Hinchcliffe, just viewing what's going on in front of him in turn 2.
Those front 3 cars all powered by Honda. Ryan Hunter-Reay, James Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell, the top 3.
That Townsend Bell machine has a bit of a blue streak on the backside. Makes it pop out to the eye when they come out of turn number 2. Hinchcliffe is now trying to close in on Hunter-Reay. The 1, 2, 3, only 5 car lengths between them.
Huge crowd in the stands and the infield here in turn 4. They're putting on a show. Hinchcliffe trying to put pressure on Hunter-Reay.
Davey will tuck this into the memory bank as we see Hinch go to the high side. I don't know that the lead is the place to be.
It doesn't appear to be. They hold it for a few laps, though, but this draft, the drafts these cars make, is definitely advantage being second. But is it on the last lap or the next last lap? The exciting thing is there is some action. And when you see Kanon and how about Wilson, Stefan Wilson, a rookie, he's up 6 spots right now as well.
Davey, a very clean start. I think everyone has to be pleased.
Love it. Love it. Start. They're all, hey, you know what? Nobody's checking out. Unfortunately, I think Buddy Lazier is the only car retired from this race, or at least still working on his car right now.
This leaderboard update is brought to you by Prime Sport. Prime Sport is the preferred travel partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 8 laps complete. Your top 10, James Hinchcliffe, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden, Will Power, Miguel Aloshin, Tony Kanon, Carlos Munoz, Marco Andretti, and Elio Castro-Neves.
This is Lauren Bolander-Kanon. We rely on the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, #1 for doctors, nurses, and moms.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Spring. A time when all of nature's creatures come to life. But wait, what's that? A pothole? And another? Don't wave the white flag just yet. For a suspension that rides as good as new, get tried and true shocks and struts from Monroe at your neighborhood Advance Auto Parts. And get them even faster when you order online and pick them up in store. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Ever notice that when something is super special, it ends up on a list? Like a Hall of Fame or a top 10. At Super 8 Hotels, we love lists. Lists like our amenities, free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and even Wyndham Rewards points for loyalty members. We even have lists of great discounts for the military, auto clubs, and smart people that book in advance. It's a great stay at a price that fits. Sounds like we should definitely make your list. Super 8 Hotels. Stay super at super8.com.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
If you're in the market for a high-quality pre-owned vehicle, it's simple. Just stop by Weaver Auto Sales on Highway 46 in Spencer. Weaver Auto Sales has been in the auto sales business for over 15 years, so their experience speaks for itself. So if you're looking for a high-quality vehicle with low sales pressure, just call Weaver Auto Sales. Stop by and check out a great pre-owned vehicle available with no interest, no financing, and buy here, pay here. That's Weaver Auto Sales on Highway 46 in Spencer, where experience speaks for itself.
This is Bill Bates with Bates Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your only Bryant factory authorized dealer in this area. Served this area for 48 years with 3 generations to serve you for quality service and installation. We now have 0% interest for 36 months and accept all major credit cards. Take advantage of factory rebates, utility rebates, and federal tax credits on geothermal equipment, generators, high-efficiency heat pumps, gas furnaces, and air conditioners. Let us design a system that will give you greater comfort and efficiency. Call Bates Mechanical now for a free estimate on a new system.
Call 332-7000 or 829-3156.
It's race day on 97.7
WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
13 laps into the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. Hinchcliffe, Ryan Hunter-Reay continue to do battle, taking turns at the point. Pit road already a busy place. Let's start first with Rob Houghton.
Yeah, Mark, we had an issue from the very start of the race. Buddy Lazier brought the number 4 Quiznos machine into pit lane. Trouble with a sticking throttle. They haven't been able to get that fixed. They're actually going to take him back to the garage area now. So it was a promising weekend for Buddy Lazier. They thought they had the speed to challenge and work their way up, but instead they'll work their way back to the garage area. Kevin?
Watching
a great battle up front as Hunter Ray and Hinchcliffe trade the lead back and forth. Tony Kanaan is putting on a show starting mid-pack. He has already, as we see Hunter Ray going around Hinchcliffe again for the lead, Kanaan has already worked his way up from 8th to 7th. He told me the car is fantastic. I can win this race. Dave?
Yeah, Juan Pablo Montoya, of course, the reigning Indy 500 champion, does not like his race cars so far. Lost 3 spots right from the get-go. He wants to come in and make some big adjustments, but John Buslag, who, of course, calls the action for Montoya, saying, right now you got to use the instruments inside your machine. Keep an eye on that number 2 car for Team Penske.
Ryan Hunter-Ray down here in the pit box. Ray Gosselin has been speaking with him. He said, we don't want to be any worse than second. Ryan got on the radio and said 10-4. He said, we want to be in the lead as much as we can. He thinks the other cars behind him, maybe he'll have another 2 laps than what they'll have on this first stint. We're at the halfway mark right now. 15 laps in the book thus far for this first running, 100th running, I should say, of the Indianapolis 500.
Our Exogen pit reporters, Exogen changing the way the world takes temperatures. And Davey, it's so sad for Buddy Lazier. They came into this month of May with more optimism than they'd had with previous efforts, and it's just it's tough to see them go to pit road and not get to turn left.
Yeah, very sad, and you know, these throttles are so different than just a throttle cable going back to the fuel injection. It's so different now. Wow, what a battle right now with Simon Pagenaud and Tony Kanaan. But yeah, what about? I think Lazier's been this is his 20th 500. He's a past champion of this race, and not being able to get the green flag's a bummer.
Jake Query, they give us spotter guides, but lucky for you, you don't need one to spot that bad, fast race car of Simon Pagenaud.
And it is moving its way, knifing its way through the field. Simon Pagenaud, highlighter green, trying to close in on his teammate Will Power. That's the battle for 7th.
Yeah, he's currently in 7th place, and he's right behind his teammate, as he said, the silver Verizon car. He may get him here on the front straightaway.
Look what's coming, Jerry Baker, Ryan Hunter-Ray, and James Hinchcliffe again and again.
Yeah, that's no shock. They've been doing it every time around. Hitch will take the lead into the south end of the short chute into turn 2.
Hinchcliffe, Hunter-Ray, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden running fifth is Mikhail Aloshin, but back to Pagenaud in 6th. Jake, he may make quick work of him. That neon car streaks down the backstretch.
Yeah, Pagenaud is actually the back end right now of that front 6, which have separated themselves with some distance from Will Power. Pagenaud on the charge, Chris.
Pagenaud in the middle of the north short chute. He's probably about 20 car lengths behind the lead, held right now by the pole sitter, James Hinchcliffe.
Jerry Baker, you will see the front 4 first, but shortly after them, Mikhail Aloshin will have Simon Pagenaud all over his rear wing.
Indeed, he does. Walking right in front of us right now. Maybe 6 or 7 car lengths, and he's closing as they head into turn number 2.
This is a battle for 5th. The Russian Mikhail Aloshin making his second 500 start. The Frenchman Simon Pagenaud, the points leader, looking for that 5th spot, Jake.
I'll tell you what, Pagenaud is going to try to set up Aloshin right now. Aloshin just now entering in turn number 3. Pagenaud is right on his heels, 2 car lengths back.
Those 2 cars, Aloshin and Pagenaud, started 7th and 8th. They have improved to 5th and 6th. Pagenaud about 2 car lengths behind Aloshin.
Good battle for 1st, good battle for 3rd, good battle for 4th. Back to Jerry Baker.
And it hasn't changed, Mark. Up hot Hinchcliffe, then you've got your Ryan Hunter-Ray, then Bell, then Newgarden. No change up front.
Yeah, this is about as calm as it's been in the first 19 laps of this race. James Hinchcliffe with about a 6 or 7 car length lead over Hunter-Ray. Further back, though, Jake, that battle for 5th shaping up with Pagenaud.
Yeah, Pagenaud had fallen back and now is working his way back up. He had fallen to as low as 13th, working his way now, trying to get back in that front 5, still looking in on Aloshin.
It is the Hondas up front, teammates Ryan Hunter-Ray and Townsend Bell behind James Hinchcliffe.
Davey Hamilton, you're going to have to take your shoes and socks off to count the lead changes. We're only about 20 laps in.
How about this? We're 20 laps in. There's 12 lead changes already, and that's at the start-finish line. So it's pretty crazy on having, because they've swapped it back in the back several times. So wow, amazing. But right now the Hondas, those 3 Hondas, the Schmidt-Peterson and the 2 Andretti cars, first, second, third, pretty tough right now.
What's that, a 6-car breakaway headed at you, Jake?
Correct. It's Hinchcliffe up front, then Hunter-Ray, Bell, Newgarden, Aloshin, Pagenaud, then a pretty serious gap back before Kanaan and Power.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap now between 4th and 5th, and then back to 7th. Here they come down the front straightaway.
James Hinchcliffe, the mirrors are full of that DHL machine toward turn number 1, Jerry.
He swings to the outside. Does Ryan Hunter Ray looks to set up a pass, can't get it done, falls back into line, and the first 6 cars let it go to the ditch.
Yeah, that's about the first time we've seen Hunter Ray take a look to the outside, couldn't get it done, and just James Hinchcliffe streaks out to about a 4 or 5 car length advantage.
The famous Speedway water tower peeks its way over the southeast vista as they exit turn number 2. It's watching right now the Canadian James Hinchcliffe leading Ryan Hunter Ray. Everybody safely single file through the north end.
The 6th and final car of the pack is the Menards machine of Simon Pagenaud, but a car to watch is Tony Kanaan.
Speaking of that, plus 11 on the day, Davey, is Tony Kanaan. He made a hard charge at the start. Do you think he's kind of doing some tire management here and settling in now that he's worked his way up toward the lead?
Well, I think more than likely he came up hard. His car's good early, but maybe as the run goes on, the tires were down. The balance isn't quite there because he actually got by Pagenaud at one point. Pagenaud got him back. You know Tony, he's a fighter. He's going to want to. He's kind of by himself in that 7th position right now. So he'll wait for a pit stop, make some changes, but he's going to be a contender for sure.
This leaderboard update is brought to you by Prime Sport. Prime Sport is the preferred travel partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 22 of 200 laps complete. James Hinchcliffe, Ryan Hunter Ray, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden, Mikel Alosha, Simon Pagenaud, Tony Kanaan. Will Power is 8th. Carlos Munoz is 9th, and Marco Andretti completes the top 10.
This Memorial Day weekend, Navy Federal Credit Union would like to salute all of our men and women who are serving or have served in the armed forces. Thank you.
When's the best time to enjoy Twisted Tea?
Why don't we do a little day drinking?
A hard iced tea brewed like a beer that tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real iced tea. Hanging out at the pool, fishing with your buddy. Twisted Tea hard iced tea tastes great anytime. Cool, refreshing, smooth, but with a kick.
Why don't we do a little day drinking?
Twisted Tea, real iced tea taste with a kick.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
Chances are, you don't like this song. And there's no way anybody likes this, except maybe your dad. Truth is, the vast majority of music out there probably doesn't quite do it for you. But luckily, the all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze has your back. Or maybe it's your ears. Because with available Apple CarPlay compatibility, your favorite music and playlists are just a tap away. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Vehicle user interface is a product of Apple, and its terms and privacy statements apply. Requires compatible smartphone and data plan rates apply.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines! The race to Hobson Chevy Buick GMC is on. For the hottest deals on cool wheels, put your pedal to the metal and get to Hobson GM in Martinsville now. For the best sign-and drive lease offers on new Chevy Cruises, 0 down and just $179 a month. Or check out the brand new body style on the 2016 Malibu. You can drive one home today for only $199 a month. Looking for a smoking hot deal on a new Silverado? Hobson has them for just $299 a month. There's only one way to victory lane. So if you want to be a winner, then drive a winner. Find new roads and race to Hobson GM on Highway 37 next to Taco Bell in Martinsville, or go to HobsonGM.com. If you hate the hassle, head to Hobson. Yeah! Cruise lease for 39 months, 32,500 a month. Malibu lease for 39 months, 2229 down, 32,500 miles. Silverado lease for 36 months, 1339 down, 30,000 miles.
Classic Hits 97.7.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
26 of 200 laps complete. Ryan Hunter Ray continues to set the pace. Joseph Newgarden has moved into second place. Before we revisit what's going on out on the track, let's visit pit road and join Kevin Lee.
Well, Scott Dixon is one of those we thought would make his way to the front pretty quickly, but he's only picked up one position from 13th to 12th, and now the handling is going away, dealing with a vibration. Mike Cole said, tell us if it gets worse, but Scott Dixon is one of those hoping to pit as soon as possible.
Davey, we've about reached that point where that pit window was starting to eke open just a little bit. A lot of pressure with this first round of stops.
Really, one more lap, the pit window opens, and you're going to see, guys, if your car is not fun right now, try to make that pit window. That's what you tell her. Here they come right now, man, for Ryan Hunter-Reay, the first one in.
Yep, Ryan Hunter-Reay really has to climb on the binders, and we see a lot of brake smoke come up from that DHL machine. That is a long haul down that straightaway. James Hinchcliffe, they reach the midway point of pit road, 60 miles an hour. The leader, Ryan Hunter-Reay, makes his way toward Michael Young.
Yeah, for the 2014 champion, they were going to make a front wing change. They decided not to. James Hinchcliffe in as well. They'll make a tire pressure adjustment for James Hinchcliffe's machine. They're packing it full of fuel, 7.8 seconds. Ryan Hunter-Reay down and away, still working on the James Hinchcliffe car. Problem on the front, we can't see what exactly is going on, but a costly stop, the very first stint for James Hinchcliffe.
Davey, that's just what you don't want to have.
Don't want that right now, especially early in the race. Well, goods and bads of that, Mark. He does have time to make it up, but boy, oh boy, you see where he's going to come out right now and falling back behind a lot of the guys that he was in front of. Here's Kanan down pit road right now as well.
Mikel Aloshin wiggled a bit trying to climb on the binders. He makes his way to pit road. Let's go back to Kevin Lee.
We know he's fast. We know he is bold, and he is fearless. Mikel Aloshin started 7th. He's been flirting with the top 5 all day. Clean stop, maybe a tick slower for Mikel Aloshin, and he's back out. Dave?
Well, Team America with a couple of stops, and Ed Carpenter and J.R. Hildebrand. Ed Carpenter likes his car a lot, and he is a man on the move. So far improved his position 5 spots here in the Indy 500.
Couple of more cars make their way down pit road. Among them, the number 22 machine of Simon Pagenaud. We also see Townsend Bell making the hole. Will Power coming to the attention of his crew. Kevin Lee is there.
Will Power is going to be in just a moment, and Marco Andretti coming in. Let's go up front, though, to Michael Young.
Joseph Newgarden surrenders the lead. The crew going to work. Joseph was going to make a tire pressure change when he talked to his race director. They said, no, let's leave it the way it is. A long stop, though, 10 seconds for Joseph Newgarden's first stop of the day.
Davey, so far seems to be the one bobble for Hintz, but other than that, we've had good, clean pit stops. I'll tell you what, Davey, hold on to that. Let's go back to Kevin Lee.
Waiting for Will Power to make his way down pit road. Graham Rahal has taken his service. He rolls through. Rob, what did Rahal do?
Graham Rahal into pit lane here right now, guys. Not happy with the way the car is now. He thought they had a really good race car, but they needed a bit of front wing. They put a half a turn in the front wing, filled the thing full of fuel, and gave new rubber. 9.4 seconds. A great stop for the guys. Fantastic job for Rahal, but hopefully the changes they've made will make that car a little better. Kevin?
Will Power's been running in the 6th, 7th, and 8th runs. He's cycled up to 4th. That's a great stop for the 12 Team Penske team. Scott Dixon also makes his stop. He wanted some changes. He's out in just over 9 seconds.
And for those of you who are just joining us, you may not be aware of it, but Davey Hamilton's philosophy is as soon as that window opens up, you grab it, huh, Davey?
Absolutely. You got to do it, because if a yellow is to come out, boy, it's going to leave you a sit duck. And these guys are pretty close. They're all within the 3-lap time period. Sage Karam found himself in lead. Montoya struggling, but he finds himself in second, but he's coming down pit road right now.
Juan Montoya makes his way down pit road. He's into the view of day first.
Yeah, let's see what happens with this bright silver number 2 for Juan Pablo Montoya. Upset with the car from the get-go. Yeah, big. In fact, let's call it a turn and a half front wing change for Juan Pablo Montoya. He's down and away.
Guys, Rob Howden down here with Sage Karam. He just called his team and said, guys, this race car is unbelievable. A little bit of a push to oversteer that he can handle right now. He started, remember, back in the 23rd position. Sage Karam already up in the 16th spot. When I spoke to him before the race, he told me he wanted to be at 15th. For the first pit stop, he has almost got there, I believe, 14th right now. So a fantastic run thus far for Sage Karam.
Great stuff from our Exogen pit reporters. Exogen, changing the way the world takes temperature.
Drivers on Earth aren't going to push the limits of man and machine riding on just any old piece of rubber. Which is why Firestone is the tire of the Verizon IndyCar Series. So when it's time to celebrate the 100th running of the Indy 500, no one knows more about celebrating than the tire that has more Indy wins than anyone else. Because at Firestone, we don't just make tires. We make champions. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Progressive brings you Flowetry with Flow.
A tool called Name Your Price. Get a grip on your spending like an industrial vice. It's nice. Beats rolling the dice. I prefer brown rice. Don't carry dumbbells when you walk on thin ice. Splash.
Get insurance based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network. Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Chad's Repair and Service is Monroe County's newest automotive and light-duty diesel repair facility. Owned and operated by Chad Olson and Janet Neal of Ellettsville. Chad's offers complete automotive repairs on import and domestic cars, light and medium-duty diesel trucks. Chad's also offers free diagnostics and only $50 an hour labor rate. Give Chad a call today, 812-345-0432, to schedule your appointment at Chad's Repair and Service, Ellettsville.
The purchase of a memorial is a very important decision, yet some people put it off until it's too late. I think you'll agree that the purchase of a memorial is an important decision and should not be made under the stress and strain of losing a loved one. Everlasting Memorials in Bloomington and Spencer Monuments in Spencer have a wide selection of sizes and styles of granite and bronze memorials. Stop by or call 812-334-2068 for an appointment. Select your memorial today.
Classic hits, WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Mark Jenks back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This leaderboard update is brought to you by Prime Sport. Prime Sport is the preferred travel partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Full field rundown. 36 of 200 laps complete. Ryan Hunter-Reay is first. Second is Townsend Bell. Newgarden is third. Fourth is Pagano. Fifth is Carlos Munoz. Sixth is James Hinchcliffe. Seventh is Tony Kanaan. Eighth is Miguel Alocian. Ninth is Will Power. And Elio Castro-Neves is 10th. 11th, Alexander Rossi. 12th is Scott Dixon. 13th is Sage Karam. 14th, Ed Carpenter. 15th, Marco Andretti. 16th, J.R. Hildebrand. 17th, Sebastian Bourdais. And 18th, Takuma Sato. Oriol Servia is 19th. 20th is Charlie Kimball. 21st is Juan Montoya. Connor Daly is 22nd. Graham Rahal is 23rd. Gabby Chavez 24th. Alex Tagliani is 25th. 26th, Justin Wilson. 27th, Jack Hawksworth. Max Chilton is 28th. Matthew Brabham is 29th. 30th is Spencer Pickett. Ryan Clausen is 31st. Pippa Mann is 32nd. And Buddy Lazier is 33rd. Having gone to pit road on the parade laps, he has yet to complete a lap today. Lap leaders include Hunter-Reay, Hinchcliffe, Karam, Newgarden, and Munoz. Those movers and shakers, Tony Kanaan plus 11, Sage Karam plus 10, Alex Tagliani plus 8, Carpenter plus 8, Carpenter is plus 5, and Pagano is plus 4. Our sincerest apologies to Stephen Wilson using the name Justin, but that just goes to show you how near and dear Justin Wilson remains in our hearts.
Well, we're so used to hearing it, right?
Not offended by that at all,
Not
especially
at all.
with the number and the helmet.
Yeah, we've said Justin so many times. I did it at introductions. I know you just did it, but it's going to happen again.
Yep.
But Stefan, it's an honor to have him out there right now.
Mark Royce, Executive Vice President of Global Product Development of the supply chain for General Motors. And Mark, first of all, welcome to a great corner office we have here at the Panasonic Pagoda.
Yeah, not bad at all. I'll tell you, the facility looks so good this year. I've been coming here since the early 70s as a little boy, and I can tell you, this reminds me of the packed houses and, you know, the beautiful times of some of the better times in open wheel racing before some of the crisis economically hit. So this really is just an amazing facility and an amazing day for the United States in open wheel racing.
How about what they've done at this facility just in the past year or so?
I know, just in the past year. I tell you, I took my son for the first time into Turn 1 and sat, the very highest part of this facility probably 10 years ago. And to see the new seating up there, the new suites, and this is just, it just is world class. It really is. Everything about it is world class. We went to the concert last night and saw a little bit of that. And I tell you, everybody's just having a great time here. So it is really a world-class racing facility.
Mark Royce of General Motors is our guest here in the Panasonic Pagoda, high atop the start-finish line. So let's talk a little bit about the General Motors Chevrolet. Its long and storied connection here. How proud is your company to have the connection that you have here with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Well, we are incredibly proud, all the way back from 1909 to 1911, and little Chevrolet and some of those beginning of the roots of General Motors here. We've been here, and we've won a lot of races here as well. But I got to tell you, as the company went through a tough time, and the world went through a tough economic crisis, we were not in the IndyCar racing and open wheel circuit here for quite a few years. So to be able to bring it back and bring a race back to Detroit too, at the same time as bringing the engine back into the series. With Ilmore Chevrolet, it's really been just a great 4 or 5 years here, so we couldn't be prouder.
Jim Campbell said the toughest task that you guys had, of course, one of your co-workers, Jim Campbell, said the toughest task they had was whittling down the number of engineers that wanted to be involved in the design of that pace car. A lot of guys lined up and gals to be a part of that. Huh?
Well, I mean, I run product development here globally for GM, and if you look at our workforce is now almost 40% with 5 years or less. So these are young people that, and anybody that says that young people don't find, automotive and racing and high performance and all the stuff that go with the automobile industry these days don't find interest in that, they're sadly wrong. These kids, I tell you, they want to be part of it. It's part of the race mentality we're bringing into General Motors and engineering, so it couldn't be better.
Lastly, we get the North American connection and the benefits of it, but what does this do for GM globally, this association?
Well, globally, Chevrolet is one of the biggest brands in South America and the Brazil markets there. It's number one in quite a few of the markets internationally, and to bring Chevrolet and this technology, and we've learned so much for our base motors in the cars that we put in, the new Malibu, the new Cruze. Those are global entries, so they go into Asia Pacific, they go everywhere, and the technology transfer that we have going with a lot of the fuel injection and a lot of the high tech on an internal combustion engine that is yet to be explored is just fantastic. So we couldn't be happier.
Mark Royce, the Executive Vice President of Global Product Development and Supply Chain, General Motors. We'll let you go back to being a fan now. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mark. Boy, I couldn't, thanks for the opportunity today. Beautiful day for America.
Glad to do it. We pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Advanced Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Broadcasting from the Mid-America Bloomington Studio Complex, this is Classic Hits.
WCLS, Spencer, Bloomington, Ellisville.
Classic Hits Radio.
Laura Bolander-Kanan here. I'm excited to tell you about my personal go-to family health essential, the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, the official baby gift for all new racing moms and dads because it keeps on giving by always providing accurate temperatures when new parents need it most. If you want to give a gift that gives peace of mind for years to come, then give the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer and be an Exergen mom like me.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
There are more than 32,000 different beers out there, and yet light beer is one of the hardest beers in the world to brew. Why? Because there are no heavy flavors to hide any imperfections. And Miller Lite just happens to have won more gold medals than any American light beer. Now there's some barroom trivia for you. It's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2016 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounce, 96 calories, 3.2 grams carbs, 1 gram protein, 0 grams fat.
This is the Advanced Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
If your car's been dented, dinged, or smashed, don't cry. Just come to Tony Kinzer Body Shop on Smith Pike Road in Bloomington. Because the Tony Kinzer Body Shop has been making cars just like new for over 35 years by providing you professional auto body collision repairs and painting services. Our number one commitment, to give you the best service possible. That's why Tony Kinzer Body Shop has received the Angie's List Super Service Award. Don't cry. Just call Tony Kinzer Body Shop in Bloomington, 812-339-1873. Tony Kinzer Body Shop, making cars brand new.
IU Credit Union.
Ready to buy a vehicle? Finance your new or used car, truck, SUV, motorcycle, RV, boat, or ATV with a great low-rate loan from IU Credit Union. Apply online at IUCU.org. Stop by any branch or ask your dealer for IU Credit Union financing.
We started a credit union and created a community.
It's race day on 97.7.
WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Caution on lap 47 now. Debris on the race course. And, Davey, while we were visiting with the good folks from Chevrolet, Townsend Bell continues a magnificent month. He now leads the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, how he has a knack just to come here and be so good, but to always pick a good team. Every time he comes here, he gets the team that's strong, and that's not easy to do because it changes from year to year, but what a great job he's done. Got the lead from his teammate, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Now a string of a mark come down pit lane.
On lap 47, quite a parade making its way down pit road. The leaders, Townsend Bell, we see Ryan Hunter-Reay, we see Joseph Newgarden, Simon Pagenaud has worked his way up to fourth. Carlos Munoz, James Hinchcliffe, Tony Kanaan, Mikel Aloshin, and more. The leaders head to Michael Young.
Until today, Townsend Bell has only led one lap at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Car very good. Only a small wing change in that very first stop for him. For Ryan Hunter-Reay, who's been running second, has been in the lead most of the afternoon. No changes. Good battle up pit lane. Ryan Hunter-Reay right in front of Simon Pagenaud. That is Townsend Bell.
And Tony Kanaan, when he released, nearly made contact with Will Power. He picked up a spot. He does get around Mikel Aloshin. Kanaan came in 8th, Aloshin 7th. Clean pit stops for both.
Two drivers going in different directions right now. Juan Pablo Montoya has lost some 4 spots back to 21st. No change on that pit stop. However, a big change for Ed Carpenter, who is on the move right now. So is J.R. Hildebrand. Max Chilton in a world of hurt, guys. He's having all kinds of handling issues. Has already lost 6 spots in the process. Talked to Dario Franchitti, who's his coach and has been all season long. He says right now Max is having a hard time timing the passes in traffic here at Indianapolis. Rob?
Fantastic pit stop for Sage Karam. He is absolutely thrilled with the race car right now. They were able to get him back onto the racetrack in just 7.4 seconds with fuel and tires. Karam running really solidly, running in the 14th position, but that stop should start him a little bit more here in the second pit stop. Michael?
Yeah, again, no changes down here, but the high fives are all about here in the James Hinchcliffe pit as they made up for that first bad stop that they had. Actually, a little over 15 seconds for the first stop for them. And for James Hinchcliffe to get him back into that top 5 is the goal. He's running 5 right now. 5th place, that is, James Hinchcliffe. So your running order: Ryan Hunter-Reay, Simon Pagenaud, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden, and James Hinchcliffe at lap 49.
Lap 49, the track inspection continues. Again, we are caution for debris here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Ever notice that when something is super special, it ends up on a list? Like a Hall of Fame or a top 10. At Super 8 Hotels, we love lists. Lists like our amenities, free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and even Wyndham Rewards points for loyalty members. We even have lists of great discounts for the military, auto clubs, and smart people that book in advance. It's a great stay at a price that fits. Sounds like we should definitely make your list. Super 8 Hotels. Stay super at super8.com.
When's the best time to enjoy Twisted Tea? When you want the taste of real iced tea, but with a kick. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is brewed like a beer, but tastes like real iced tea. Cool, refreshing, smooth, with a kick. Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
I'm IndyCar driver Marco Andretti, and when the voice in my stomach asks for a snack, I grab all-natural Oberto beef jerky, the most delicious lean protein around. Oberto is packed with savory cuts of lean beef that satisfies my hunger for 500 miles. When the voice in your stomach says it wants a nutritious snack, drive as fast as you can, drive responsibly to your nearest retailer and pick up a bag of all-natural Oberto beef jerky.
Oberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Oberto's all-natural line of beef jerky. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Stop into Valley Chevrolet, your outlet for savings in Spencer. Stop into Valley and take advantage of unbelievable savings on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles. Choose from one of their many vehicles available for up to 60% off. All vehicles are clearly priced and ready for immediate possession. So don't make the mistake of going somewhere else when your choice is easy. Valley Chevrolet at the corner of Highways 231 and 46 in Spencer, your outlet for savings. Check out valley-chevy.com.
This is Bill Bates with Bates Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your only Bryant factory authorized dealer in this area. Served this area for 48 years with 3 generations to serve you for quality service and installation. We now have 0% interest for 36 months and accept all major credit cards. Take advantage of factory rebates, utility rebates, and federal tax credits on geothermal equipment, generators, high-efficiency heat pumps, gas furnaces, and air conditioners. Let us design a system that will give you greater comfort and efficiency. Call Bates Mechanical now for a free estimate on a new system.
Call 332-7000 or 829-3156.
Classic Hits 97.7.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Pagano runs the win streak to 3 and now sets his sights on the Borg-Warner Trophy. I'm Mike King. This is the Firestone Performance Report. Simon Pagano is the hottest driver in IndyCar. He'll look to run his win streak to 4 today after back-to-back-to-back victories. Despite chilly May temperatures, the Frenchman found the grip he needed in his Firestone Firehawks to run away with the Grand Prix of Indianapolis.
Firestone tires, they're so consistent in general, whether it's the blacks or the red tires. The red today were really good because it's so cool. It was bringing me more grip on the car, and it was easier to drive, but everything was so consistent. I was just enjoying my driving lap after laps, and wow, that's incredible.
I'm Mike King. This is the Firestone Performance Report. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
51 of 200 laps complete. Ryan Hunter-Reay, your leader. Pagano, Bell, Newgarden, Hinchcliffe, the top 5. Let's go downstairs to Kevin Lee.
We mentioned it when they were released. There was contact between Will Power and Tony Kanaan, and it's under review. And I think the question is whether Power should be penalized. If he squeezed Tony Kanaan, they did come together. They're concerned about the front wing with Will Power. They're not pitting at this point. They're more concerned in the Tony Kanaan pits because he scraped the wall, and he thinks the steering might be a little bit off. So keep an eye on those cars running right now, 8th and 9th with Kanaan right in front of Power.
Davey, I'm not saying this is an excuse, but is this in fact one of the tightest pit rows we'll see on the circuit all year?
Yeah, that's one. It is very, very tight. And you know, Will came out and he went into the slow, what we call the slow lane, or get up to speed lane, and he did go over the line just a little bit, but not enough. He brought it back, but Tony did rub that pit wall. So I'm looking at the steering arm on Tony's car right now. Looks pretty good. Doesn't seem to have a problem there, but wow, these pits are super, super tight. And you got to remember, a lot of places we go to don't have a pit wall, or the pit lane's wider, so this is the trickiest place on the circuit.
Is there anything more precarious in this sport than trying to exit pit road when you're making stops under caution, mind you? And I say that because of the amount of traffic that's involved.
Yeah, cautions, you know, there's so many people. You always like to pit. You know, if everybody pits under green, you usually like to pit under green to where you can come in at full speed and you know where to hit your marks, and you don't have a lot of traffic in there. But when it's yellow, man, everybody comes in at one time. It gets super jam-packed in there. It's hard to see your pit. So, yeah, that was – and let me tell you, a pit stop is as hard as the race. When you're out on the track and you're going 225-plus miles an hour and you're racing with all your buddies out there, it's pretty fun, and you kind of get in a rhythm. But pit stop are some of the hardest things. You're not used to having to slow the car down at the perfect spot just to make sure you don't lose no time on your in-lap, to get in your pit without sliding through it, to get out without speeding in pit lane, and then get back up to that 225 mile an hour. So it's a challenge to do.
Let's go back to pit lane. Kevin Lee, you have more on this developing situation involving Will Power.
Well, I'm hearing on the 12 channel that Will Power is going to have to serve a drive-through once we go green. Can't serve it under yellow. And I'm also hearing on the 77 channel for Oriol Servia that he's also going to the back. So I'll look into that to see if there's a penalty for Servia as well.
Quickly with race strategist Ray Goslin, you're calling the race for Ryan today. Ryan Hunter-Reay, he's got an extremely quick machine. The clouds just came over. Will this affect the car in any way, do you feel?
No, I don't think so. The track temp's still pretty high, even with the cloud cover, so I think it'll be the same as it was the previous. It should be no problem.
We'll let you call this green flag. Good luck. Good luck.
Awfully loud here.
There you go. Good luck. That's Ray Goslin. Let's go down to Rob Howden.
Hey, guys, all the way down to the north end of the pit lane, Sage Karam here after qualifying the 23rd. His team, a one-off program here for 2016. They are doing a fantastic job. Not only is Sage Karam getting the job done on the racetrack, but the team is doing it in the pit lane as well. They were able to get 2 spots on the first stop, and they were able to get another spot on stop number 2. A 7.4-second pit stop on stop 2 advances Karam up to 11th position. Great start to this race here for Sage Karam.
Smart move by Tim Cindric. He just brought Will Power in. He knows they're going to the back for the penalty, so they came in and topped off, made a front wing adjustment. Before that, Cindric told Power, my bad, I was trying to get you away from Elio. That's why they were penalized for the unsafe release.
And how about another Penske and Juan Pablo Montoya? What he doesn't have in handling right now, they made up for strategy during that last set of pit stops. John Bootslaw called him in. Short fuel fill for Montoya. Made up 3 spots that last time. Mark James.
Ryan Hunter-Reay takes charge of the field into turn number 1, Jerry Baker.
They come 3 wide. They finally squeeze. As a matter of fact, Townsend Bell will move to the outside. They're all bunched up in turn 2.
And they're still side by side for second. Now Joseph Newgarden slips by, so he'll grab that second position. Elio Castroneves' car gets sideways. He moves Jake down to the inside of the backstretch.
They go 4 wide coming out of turn number 2. Castroneves in the middle of that gaggle. Front 3 into turn number 3. Now wisely settling down. Alex Rossi trying to close in on Castroneves.
Yeah, they cannot do that in the short shoot, though. They're too wide in the short shoot. The lead belongs to Hunter-Reay.
Car number 4 gets a drive-through. Had wheels where they were not supposed to be. So a trip to pit road for the 4-car, Jerry Baker.
And already a move, and that is Townsend Bell. He takes the number 2 spot right behind Ryan Hunter-Reay.
So it's Hunter-Reay, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden, James Hinchcliffe. Front 4 checked out. And you've got Carlos Munoz and TK running there in 6th, Jake.
So that front 4 now already setting up for 3. That was quite the scene the last time by. You heard Nick mention the front 4. Hinchcliffe slung his way around now to 3rd. Then it's Munoz and then TK.
Has his eyes set on his teammate Ryan Hunter-Reay. He's in 2nd, about 3 car lengths behind.
The 4-car of Buddy Lazier makes his way down pit road. Munoz makes his way down the main straightaway along with the leaders.
And Townsend Bell will take the lead now. Ryan Hunter-Reay will drop into 2nd. They're in the south end of the race course.
Nice move on the front stretch there by Townsend Bell. Bell will clear Hunter-Reay by about 3 or 4 car lengths as they race out of turn 2.
DHL might deliver, so too does presumably the California Pizza Kitchen. They're running right now, 1st and 2nd. Townsend Bell, the Californian, in 1st. That DHL machine of Hunter-Reay in 2nd.
But Hunter-Reay's not ready to give up yet. He is closing in as they exit turn number 4. About a 2-car length advantage for Townsend Bell.
It's Bell, Hunter-Reay, Hinchcliffe, Newgarden, the aforementioned Carlos Munoz are top 5. A battle for the lead into 1.
And here they come side by side. And just like that, Ryan Hunter-Reay sticks to the inside and takes the lead in the south end.
These leaders just can't get away from each other. It's a 7-car breakaway with Hunter-Reay leading that train. Elio Castroneves, he's the caboose out of turn 2.
The cars magnetize themselves towards the bottom of the racetrack out of turn number 2. Right now, James Hinchcliffe takes a look at that line, keeps it right there, slings him around Townsend Bell. Hinchcliffe back to 2nd.
And now James Hinchcliffe has his sights set on the lead. He's in 2nd behind Ryan Hunter-Reay as they exit turn 4.
A pretty nice breakaway now. Makes their way down that long main straightaway. Battle for 3rd shaping up. Joseph Newgarden comes to turn number 1.
We may set a new record for lead changes. They are going side by side. Townsend Bell on the outside gets squeezed, managed to hang on to the number 3 spot.
I'll tell you what, Townsend Bell did Joseph Newgarden no favors there into turn number 1. Nearly pitched him into the grass. Townsend Bell safely in 3rd. Newgarden, Jake, has his hands full in 4th.
All that activity behind Hunter-Reay, and now Hinchcliffe is going to sling around and take the lead. That number 5 gold dotted arrow machine to the front.
What a story it's been for the pole setter. What happened a year ago? James Hinchcliffe back in the lead out of turn 4.
He's already led 13 laps on this day. Gets a little separation from Ryan Hunter-Reay. Townsend Bell all by his lonesome in 3rd as they head back to turn 1.
Lap number 59, and Hinch is starting to spin it out just a little bit. Ryan Hunter-Reay right in his rearview mirror zone.
Pace of this race has been absolutely incredible. That 7-car breakaway. Well, now it's about 14 as Townsend Bell tries to front down Ryan Hunter-Reay and at the front of the field heading to turn number 3.
It's this kind of activity that has 1/3 people believing that there's going to be 100 more installments in this great race. James Hinchcliffe into turn number 4.
We're under complete cloud cover here in turn 4. It is cooled off as Hinchcliffe has a 2-car length lead.
22 lead changes. We're coming close to our 23rd, Jerry Baker. Here comes Ryan Hunter-Reay.
And they were coming at it side by side, and Ryan Hunter-Reay just barely gets by the left front wing of James Hinchcliffe already in turn 2.
Hunter-Reay and Hinchcliffe slugging it out. Jake, this is what we saw for about the first 20 laps. Good to see it's resumed as those leaders make their way out of 2.
It's what we we anticipate seeing for the rest of the race, one would presume. Right up front now, it's Ryan Hunter-Reay. Then behind him, it's Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden, Munoz, Tony Kanaan, and then the three-time winner, Elio Castroneves.
Yeah, not sure you want to be in the lead right now. That's where Ryan Hunter-Reay is. He's in first, Hinchcliffe second, Townsend Bell third.
Let's go to pit road and Kevin Lee.
Ed Carpenter just radioed in just a moment ago. I think I've got an engine problem. I'm losing RPMs, and he is dropping from 16th now somewhere in the mid-20s. A problem for the 20 team.
Davey, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Hinchcliffe, Bell, Newgarden, those guys. What a slugfest.
What a slugfest. I see those three Hondas been playing nice together. Every time they do a lead change, they get plenty of room. But when Joseph Newgarden went to go underneath Bell, wow, the door did close and rapidly, almost going down to the grass right there. So them Hondas up front are kind of playing nice with each other, but that Chevrolet, they don't want him up there, doesn't look like.
61 of 200 laps complete. Your top five: Ryan Hunter-Reay, James Hinchcliffe is second, Townsend Bell is third, Joseph Newgarden is fourth, Carlos Munoz is fifth.
You know you're in the market for a new car when, and definitely when.
Congratulations on the twins.
Luckily, when it comes to auto loans, Navy Federal Credit Union offers competitive rates, a pre-approval check, and up to 100% financing. So when you know you're ready for a better, Navy Federal is ready to help. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information. Open to everyone in the armed forces, the DoD, and their families. Navy Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Saturdays in the garage from Advance Auto Parts.
Oil change, huh? Sure you can handle such a tough job?
You can go back to your own garage, you know.
Well, then who'd empty out your fridge for you? Full synthetic, huh? Nice.
Yeah, Advance Auto Parts had a deal. 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic and a premium filter for $29.99.
Smart. It's a sweet deal. Look at you, Mr. Cleanest Pistons in town. You gonna get any in the pan or just on your shirt?
Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage. See store for details.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
At ISU The May Agency, we take pride in being a family-owned company serving clients nationwide where personal attention and enduring relationships are premium. At ISU The May Agency, we offer all lines of insurance from individual homeowner and automobile policies to life, health, and various other types of insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call ISU The May Agency, 334-2400. ISU The May Agency, where we are not about collecting premiums, but establishing relationships. 1327 North Walnut, Bloomington.
If you're looking for that unique gift or item that you just can't seem to find anywhere else, stop into Julie Bob's at their brand new location at 5798 Main Street in Freedom. At Julie Bob's, you'll find a large variety of used furniture, antiques, books, and collectible items. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 4:30, and Sunday, 10 to 2 for your shopping convenience. That's Julie Bob's, newly located at 5798 Main Street in Freedom.
Classic hits, WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Lap 64, caution on the course, and Davey Hamilton, it's for the defending race winner, Juan Montoya.
Yeah, Juan Montoya coming through turn 2 right there. The car just stepped out. I mean, he had nobody really close to him in front of him. And fortunately, everybody behind him avoided all the debris. Didn't hit the wall very hard, got the nose in, just slid down that back straightaway. Just, wow. His fourth race wasn't as good as his first 3, that's for sure.
Davey, did we just watch the living, breathing definition of evasive maneuvers by the drivers running behind Juan Montoya?
There was at least 10, 12 guys behind him, and when that debris is flying, you see smoke, you know, it's very difficult to get through there, but everybody made it. Hopefully they didn't run it over anything, but here's the in-car right now. And we'll be able to watch his hands turn to the right very quickly when he gets there. It's nice. Yeah, it just stepped out. Looked like he had some understeer, actually, in the car, like it wouldn't turn, but then next thing you know, the back end comes around.
Where do you feel that first as a driver?
Well, usually in your neck. When you hit that wall, it's never good. But
I'm talking about the sensation when the handling goes away.
You almost, well, you can see him let his hands off the wheel, which is very smart to do. It happens so fast, Mark. Sometimes you can catch him. We seen Townsend Bell earlier in the week go into turn 1, the thing stepped out, but it caught very fastly. It's not so much about hand speed, because Montoya has some of the quickest hand speed there is. It's just sometimes it happens so fast you just don't have time to react.
Again, this day is done for the defending race winner, Juan Montoya. Let's go to pit road and Dave first.
Yeah, a lot of head scratching going on down here in the 20 pit for Ed Carpenter, who's, you can tell if you listen to that engine around this 2.5-mile oval, you can tell it is off song big time. So some engine issues, ECU issues. They're trying to cycle through everything, trying to decide what's going on. But in the meantime, he has dropped like a sandbag through the field here. They were riding as high as 11th, and they're down some 10 spots, 15 spots from there. So we expect to see Ed Carpenter in here as soon as the pits open up.
Donald Davidson, does this put a dent in any hopes that we might have had for turning the fastest Indianapolis 500 race ever?
Well, we went all those laps without a caution. Before the first round of pit stops, the average speed was up to over 218 miles an hour. And during the pit stops, it dropped slightly. They climbed it back up to 214. And then when we had the first caution for debris, the average actually dropped down to about 187 and was back over 200 again. The all-time record for the distance is 187.433 miles an hour, and that was by Tony Kanaan in 2013.
Leaders on pit road to Michael Young.
Ryan Hunter-Reay first to hit the pit box, then James Hinchcliffe, who is running P2. Watching Hinchcliffe, no changes this round of stops for them. Good stop, 5.8 seconds for James Hinchcliffe. Then it's Ryan Hunter-Reay, Elio Castro-Neves, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden to Kevin Lee.
Tony Kanaan was running 6th. No problems with the car. There was concern early. He said, we're where we want to be. Let's stay here. 8.5-second stop. No changes for Kanaan. Dave?
Pit stops for J.R. Hildebrand, Sebastian Bourdais, Max Chilton, Brian Clausen, Connor Daly, who's also on the move. We still continue to wait to see Ed Carpenter back on pit road as they try to make an engine. Well, they're going to do something to this engine. We'll find out whether or not he is actually able to get back out on the road on this race course or not. Rob?
Another fantastic pit stop for the team, the Gas Monkey team, for Sage Karam. He came in here in 11th position. They made sure that they were going to fill that thing full of fuel. 9.7-second pit stop for Karam. He gets back on the racetrack, though. We'll see how he cycles out. Back up to the front of the pit lane with Michael Young.
Well, the big winner in that cycle of stops, three-time winner Elio Castro-Neves, came in 8th, went out 3rd. So the number 3 car with probably the best stop in this round of pit stops. Kevin Lee?
Mikhail Loshin also was one of those that came in. He was running in the 7th position. He gets out in the 9th position, but there's a little bit of chat here. I'm going to watch for, keep an eye on the replay. There's maybe some concern that he might have made some contact coming out of the pit lane.
Slow stop for Connor Daly. Daly had moved up some 5 or 6 spots, but the Dale Coyne guys couldn't get him in and out in time. Lost several spots in that last pit exchange. Finally, though, we see Ed Carpenter now on pit road. They took a good hard look at the engine area. Also plug in. The Chevy guys are pouring over this machine, trying to figure out what's going on. Rob Howden.
Guys, little story here developing further down the pit lane. The driver started in the very final row. Alex Tagliani in the Alfa Heat Treating number 35. He has a great race car. He's loving the way it is right now. He's worked his way from the dead last position up into 19th position. Tagliani very happy with the car right now. Kevin Lee?
We did confirm that Mikhail Loshin did have contact on exit. It was Simon Pagenaud, but they do think the car is okay. And Loshin is one of those that has a chance to win this race. He has been quick today.
67 of 200 laps complete. Here's your full field rundown. Your leader is Will Power. Then James Hinchcliffe is running P2. Ryan Hunter-Reay is 3rd. Elio Castro-Neves is 4th. Townsend Bell is 5th. Joseph Newgarden is 6th. 7th is Carlos Munoz. 8th is Tony Kanaan. 9th is Mikhail Loshin. 10th is Simon Pagenaud. Scott Dixon is 11th. Sage Karam is 12th. Marco Andretti is 13th. J.R. Hildebrand 14th. Graham Rahal up to 15th. Charlie Kimball is 16th. Takuma Sato is 17th. 18th is Bourdais, 19th Daly, 20th Rossi, 21st Serbia, Chavez is 22nd, Tagliani is 23rd, Hawksworth is 24th, Chilton is 25th, Piggott 26th, Brabham is 27th, Wilson is 28th, Mann is 29th, Clausen 30th, Carpenter 31st, Juan Montoya out of the race. He'll do no better than 32nd. Buddy Lazier currently listed as 33rd. There have been 7 leaders, 24 lead changes, 2 cautions for 12 laps. Again, with 68 laps complete, Will Power is the leader. This leaderboard update brought to you by Prime Sport. Prime Sport is the preferred travel partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Progressive brings you Flowetry with Flow.
A tool called Name Your Price. Get a grip on your spending like an industrial vice. It's nice Beats rolling the dice. I prefer brown rice. Don't carry dumbbells when you walk on thin ice. Splash.
Get insurance based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Storm warning. Cold front. Severe weather imminent. An original 96-calorie tsunami of Miller Lite headed straight at you. It's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2016 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounce, 96 calories, 3.2 grams carbs, 1 gram protein, 0 grams fat.
This is Lauren Bolander-Kanan. We rely on the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. #1 for doctors, nurses, and moms.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
I'm IndyCar driver Marco Andretti, and when the voice in my stomach asks for a snack, I grab all-natural Oberto beef jerky, the most delicious lean protein around. Oberto is packed with savory cuts of lean beef that satisfies my hunger for 500 miles. When the voice in your stomach says it wants a nutritious snack, drive as fast as you can, drive responsibly to your nearest retailer and pick up a bag of all-natural Oberto beef jerky.
Oberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Oberto's all-natural line of beef jerky. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
And now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Attention, if you need a new car, your credit is less than perfect, or you owe more on your car than it's worth, turn up your radio now. It's Credit Amnesty, this week only at University Kia in Bloomington. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. With over 30 lenders, our on-site credit experts will work to approve all types of credit with the best terms and as little as no money down. We'll even take your current trade-in, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Get a 2016 Kia Soul or Kia Forte lease, just $89 per month, or own a 2016 Kia Rio for just $13,900. Lower prices, more for your trade-in, and a better buying experience. University Kia in Bloomington is making the deals other dealers won't and approving the deals other dealers can't. So if you don't drive here, you can't save here. University Kia in Bloomington, 2200 South Walnut Street, just across from Bloomington High School South. Call 812-331-2250 or online at theuniversitykia.com.
48 monthly, $49.92 with signing plus tax, title license, destination, 0 security deposit with approved credit, trade balance, refinance, and loan. Offers don't combine. All factory rebates to dealer expires a month then.
It's race day on 97.7
WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
I'm Mark James, still under caution. 70 of the 200 laps complete. Power, Hinchcliffe, Hunter Ray, Castro Neves, Townsend Bell, your top five. Donald Davison, this caution brought out by Juan Montoya. The defending race winner could finish 33rd, depending on what Buddy Lazier does. Currently listed as 32nd. Going from such lofty accomplishments one year to not doing so well, falling to the rear of the field next year is not without precedent here.
Well, actually, there's a lot of drivers that have finished first and last in their career. I think it's like 13 or 14. But what we're faced with right now, off the top of our head, Jimmy Bryan went from first to last, from 58 to 59, and then Johnny Rutherford, the 76 winner, was 33rd in 77. He also won it in 1980 and was 32nd in 81. And we'll have to think if there's any others that have gone from first to last in 1 year.
The pace car pulled off rather abruptly, it appeared, and the field climbed up through the gearbox. And Davey, Simon Pagenaud, the 22, goes to the back of the field for unsafe release. They're watching pit road, as we're hearing now, maybe a drop or two of rain on the backstretch.
Wow, interesting. And that was Simon. I didn't know what happened there to find him in contention running in the top five majority of the late runs here. And then I thought it was going to be green, but unfortunately it doesn't look like if it's going to be rain, there's very little, and it's got very few drops, so it won't keep us long.
To turn 3 and Jay Query.
Take the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in your mind, and if you were to dot it with cumulus clouds above it, there is one large one that literally right now is strictly strapping over the middle of this facility, from the backstretch to the straightaway in the smack dab middle of the track. It's the only that has any gray in it. people here in the Northeast Vista were questioning where that rain might have come from. If it was on the backstretch, it certainly didn't make its way here into turn number 3. Not to say, of course, Mark, that there might not have been a spot where there was some precipitation, but it just seems to be that one large cloud that as soon as it clears this area, hopefully means that we will be clear for the rest of the afternoon.
Let's hear from Dave Wilson. Dave?
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, the Indianapolis 500, the 100th running, is trending very highly on social media. The hashtag IndyCar, hashtag Indy500, #1 trending on all social media right now. A lot of folks are putting videos on from the various points where they're sitting on there, which are a lot of fun to see those different videos. And Robbie Gordon has sent some congratulations to Ryan Hunter-Reay. He says he's very proud to have competed in 13 500s and hopes his stepbro does very, very good. Lots of praise for Darius Rucker's national anthem. We're hearing that. And down in Charlotte, the Charlotte Speedway is showing the Indy 500 on their big screens down there, and lots of pictures of that from the fans down there.
The Fuzzies crew pouring over the number 20 of Ed Carpenter, and Dave First is there.
Tim Broyles has called the shots for Ed Carpenter here at the 500 the last 4 years. Any idea yet what's going on inside that 20 machine?
Not yet. I mean, we're looking at everything. It's hard to see what's going on right now, but it seems like something electronic, one of the looms or something. I don't know. We're still trying to diagnose it.
How disappointing. You guys were on the move there early on.
It's a heartbreaker. This place is so special. 100th year, Fuzzy's Vodka. They've done so much for us, and we know what this place means to Ed and his family, and it's a hard one to take right now.
Tough way to go. Everybody gets new engines for the Indy 500, Hondas or Chevys, all designed to go 2,500 miles. Looks like this one may not even have made it 250. Mark?
Let's hear from Rob Howden, an update on Juan Montoya.
Yeah, Mark, down here at the Infield Care Center, and just an issue as well, we said, with Montoya on the racetrack here. He was checked, cleared, and released, though. Juan already back to the pit lane.
Hey, let's hear from Jake Query. Throughout the course of the season, he takes us on the road. Of course, he didn't have to go far this weekend. He takes us on the road, presented by Super 8.
372 square miles of central Indiana make up Indianapolis. It was founded in 1821 as the governmental epicenter of the Indiana newfound state. Indianapolis grew to become the crossroads of America, the intersection of Interstate 65 and Interstate 70 in the Midwest. Emerging from its reputation as Naptown in the mid-70s, Indianapolis grew by utilizing sports to elevate its image nationally. And in the early 80s, it hosted the National Sports Festival, moving on to the Pan American Games, and eventually culminating with Super Bowl 41 in 2012. Today, over 250,000 people have converged on 16th and Georgetown for the 100th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. Indianapolis's ever-growing skyline overlooks just 4 miles to the east, but one thing continues to be the epicenter of the Hoosier State, the Great Motor Speedway in Indianapolis. This look at Indianapolis, Indiana is brought to you by Super 8. Super amenities make for a super stay at Super 8 hotels. Visit super8.com to start something super.
Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just about ready to go back to green flag racing. 74 of 200 laps complete. Will power P1, but Davey, that's a false sense of security. He last pitted on lap 53.
Yeah, he did pit with everybody else. He's about 13 laps out of pit strategy. But, with that, when he touched Kanaan, put him in the back of the field. So this Penske group, they got a strategy. They might as well use it because this is a way to make up time. But what he needs is another yellow to come up here fairly quickly.
Will Power, James Hinchcliffe, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Elio Castro-Neves, and Townsend Bell are your top 5. 6th is Newgarden, 7th is Munoz, 8th is Kanaan, 9th is Alosian, Scott Dixon runs 10th. 11th is Sage Karam, 12th Marco Andretti, Hildebrand 13th, 14th Ray Hall, 15th Kimball, 16th Sato, and 17th Bourdais. Daly, Rossi, Servia, Chavez, Tagliani, Hawksworth, Chilton, Pig at the top. 25. Here come 32 of the 33. A side-by-side drag race into one, Jerry Baker.
Powers lead's not going to last very long. Nick, as he comes into turn 2, Hinch has got the lead again.
Hinch makes a move. It looks like Carlos Munoz is looking a little racy as well. So is Tony Kanaan, Joseph Newgarden. They nearly go side-by-side in the short shoot. Hinchcliffe with a 10-car advantage out of 2.
As the sun starts to peek out, it dances off that gold accentuation of James Hinchcliffe's machine. Then it's Hunter-Reay. Power is right there. Townsend Bell with sparks coming out underneath.
Hinchcliffe in the North Short Chute has opened up about a 7-car length advantage over Ryan Hunter-Ray. Will Power has dropped to third.
Yep, the battle for third is shaping up. It's Will Power just behind him. That's the car of Townsend Bell into turn one.
Townsend Bell will make the pass. He's got it up around Will Power, but still out front is Hinchcliffe.
So Power goes from first to fourth and allowed a lap and a quarter. He's got his hands full now. Joseph Newgarden looking at the rear wing of that Verizon Chevrolet.
Pretty smart cookie that Tim Cindric is. Brought in Will Power just before that penalty, made the move. Now Power's in position, but Power's got competition on the outside in the form of Joseph Newgarden, who slings the fourth.
Yeah, Joseph Newgarden made that pass just as he was getting to the North Short Chute. He's in fourth position, the leader, James Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe, Hunter-Ray, it looks very familiar. Jerry Baker is deja vu all over again in turn number one.
Thank you, Yogi. Yeah, you're exactly right. And Ryan Hunter-Ray has retaken the lead at the south end of the racetrack.
Further back, a battle for fifth. It's the Penske teammates. Elio Castroneves took a look to the inside of Will Power. Wasn't able to get it done out of turn number two.
Haven't said Castroneves' name a lot today, but he has been plenty racy. Right now, Castroneves has action to the bottom side. That's in the form of his former countryman and roommate, Tony Kanaan, who moves his way into fifth.
He's in that bright yellow machine, the Pennzoil machine for Elio Castroneves, but he has fallen back now behind Tony Kanaan.
Hinchcliffe, Hunter-Ray, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden. That front four hooked together into turn number one.
And Ready Auto Sport really putting on a show out here. Ryan Hunter-Ray will take the lead. Then comes Hinchcliffe, then comes Townsend Bell.
Love to see them fan out on the video monitors down the front stretch, and boy, they all tuck in single file, minding those P's and Q's. Ryan Hunter-Ray, your leader, out of two.
Ryan Hunter-Ray, of course, born in Texas, lived in California, also in Florida, which he considers home. Then it's the mayor of Hinchtown, James Hinchcliffe of Toronto, the Californian Townsend Bell in third.
It is Hondas up front. They are 1, 2, 3. Andretti Autosport has 2 of the 3 positions, led by Hunter-Ray.
James Hinchcliffe with a really good run off of turn number 4. Townsend Bell as well. Bank Newgarden trying to keep place in 4.
Well, that last pit stop for Hinchcliffe really paid off. He is right up under the rear wing of Ryan Hunter-Ray. Then comes Townsend Bell.
Elio Castroneves slipped around Tony Kanaan, so move Elio back to the 6th position. It's a 6-car train with about a 7-car length advantage back to TK.
That light yellow machine of Elio Castroneves. Oh, it darts to the bottom of the racetrack. Castroneves now trying to work his way around, takes another spot. He gets around his teammate Will Power, now closing in on Joseph Newgarden.
And the top 5 now have Elio Castroneves in 5th, and he is setting his sights on Joseph Newgarden.
A mid-race surge for Elio Castroneves. The front 3 now hooked together pretty well in front of Jerry Baker.
Mark Elio said qualifying this year was the toughest thing he'd ever done. He is in the number 5 spot, looking at the number 4 spot.
And with Juan Montoya out of the race, Elio Castroneves will now remain the only back-to-back winner since 70 and 71. Castroneves looking racy there, Jake, in the 5th position.
Castroneves has led 272 laps at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Darts to the bottom of the racetrack again. Picks off Joseph Newgarden. Elio Castroneves to 4th.
He passed the Chevrolet of Newgarden, so now he is behind the 3 Hondas, the 2 from Andretti Autosport, and the leader, James Hinchcliffe.
Hunter-Ray, Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell cross the start-finish line. Jerry Baker, that yellow submarine is on the prowl.
He certainly is. He got one of the biggest cheers of the day. He is still settling in 4th. He's in front of you, Nick.
He's picked off Tony Kanaan. He's picked off Will Power. A lap ago, he got Joseph Newgarden. Jake, now Elio Castroneves sets his sights on Townsend Bell.
The man known for dancing with the stars, dancing all over the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Elio Castroneves once again goes down low, tries to close it on Townsend Bell. Bell closes the door. Castroneves now 5 car lengths back with Newgarden right on him.
He was nearly passed in the short chute, but he holds on to 4th position. He had gotten around Joseph Newgarden. Newgarden barely made the pass.
While we watch that, we see Ryan Hunter-Ray all over James Hinchcliffe in turn number 1.
He looked to the inside, changed his mind, drops back in line. He'll run 2nd behind the Hinch.
So
Hinchcliffe moves to the lead. Hunter Ray second. Townsend Bell third. Joseph Newgarden holds off Elio Castroneves, the top 5 down the backstretch.
The weight of these full-fueled machines creates a little bit of spark as they go into turn number 3. Right now, the sparks are up front. Hinchcliffe, Hunter Ray, then it's Townsend, Bell, Newgarden, Castroneves, Kanan, and Will Power.
On the north end of the track, the clouds have gone away. We're in bright sunshine now as James Hinchcliffe has the lead.
Rob, Juan Montoya is out of the race. Rob Howden is with him.
I'm with Juan right now, Mark, down here in the good garage area. Juan, just looking at a lazy spin. Can you walk me through what happened there?
I got a bit of understeer and then the car just snapped. I got him, but I got him too late. Like, I could slide it, but I mean, here, there's nowhere to go. It's disappointing. I felt the car was coming in a little bit better there, but it's just tough.
Were there any indication laps before that something was going wrong?
No, it wasn't going wrong. It's just hard to drive. It's been doing that all month, to be honest. It just happened.
You're happy you're okay?
Yeah, we're okay. It's just disappointing, for Verizon and Chevy and everybody that supports the program.
Thank you. Juan Montoya, folks, he will not repeat his win here at the Indianapolis 500 out early.
83 laps complete. Hinchcliffe, Hunter Ray, Bell, Castroneves, and Newgarden, the top 5. Let's get the thoughts and impressions now. He rejoins us here in the broadcast booth. Paul Page, what a start today.
I'll tell you what, this thing, just the storybook that we are seeing being written by James Hinchcliffe up in front now, but the battle back and forth between the current second place Ryan Hunter-Ray, that's a great story. What about Penske and his 50th anniversary? He's already got problems. He's got Montoya out. Pagenaud penalty took him all the way to the back. He's now moved up to 18th, but then Castroneves, the only guy in the field who can become a 4-time winner, has been moving steadily up to the front. He currently sits in 3rd. And then Tony Kanaan. What can you say about TK? He's looking strong, too. Power, I think they took a shot at some strategy. I don't think it worked for him.
The hand-wringing over dome skid plates, Paul, it was all for naught, huh?
Exactly. Exactly.
So how do you think the second half of this race is going to play out, Paul? We're going to keep this pace up?
Well, I guess they have to. I don't think they have any choice. The real trick is to get to about the 170th, 173rd lap, so you can go clean and green to the finish after that. So what the teams are doing now is trying to figure out how their stops will come so that they end up just making that mark at lap 173 or so. And that's the real strategy that plays out and makes all the changes at the end of the Indianapolis 500.
We look forward to having you back in the second 100 laps.
Thank you, Mark.
We appreciate you being here. Certainly, Paul Page, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Hinchcliffe, Castroneves, Newgarden, and Bell, your top 5. Munoz, Karam, Kanaan, Power is 9th, and Andretti is 10th. Then McCallum, Graham Rahal, Alexander Rossi is 13th, 14th Dixon, 15th Hildebrand, 16th Servia, 17th Daly, 18th Pagenaud, 19th Bourdais, 20th Kimball, 21st Chavez, 22nd Tagliani, 23rd is Sato, 24th is Piggott, Brabham is 25th, Hawksworth 26th, Chilton 27th, Wilson 28th, Pippaman 29th, Clausen is 30th, and Carpenter 31st. Juan Montoya out of the race 32nd. Buddy Lazier is 33rd. 7 leaders, 28 lead changes, 2 cautions for 18 laps. This leaderboard update brought to you by Prime Sport. Prime Sport is the preferred travel partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
The best drivers on earth aren't going to push the limits of man and machine riding on just any old piece of rubber. Which is why Firestone is the tire of the Verizon IndyCar Series. So when it's time to celebrate the 100th running of the Indy 500, no one knows more about celebrating than the tire that has more Indy wins than anyone else. Because at Firestone, we don't just make tires. We make champions. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
The 100th running of the Indy 500 is almost here. Want to start celebrating right now? Then rev your engines, because the Hoosier Lottery has some epic news. The official scratch-off of the Indy 500 is here. They come fueled with thousands of $100 prizes, plus top prizes of $100 grand. Better hurry. The official scratch-off of the Indy 500 is going fast. Hoosier Lottery. Imagine that. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. Visit HoosierLottery.com for more.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
If you're in the market for a high-quality pre-owned vehicle, it's simple. Just stop by Weaver Auto Sales on Highway 46 in Spencer. Weaver Auto Sales has been in the auto sales business for over 15 years, so their experience speaks for itself. So if you're looking for a high-quality vehicle with low sales pressure, just call Weaver Auto Sales. Stop by and check out a great pre-owned vehicle available with no interest, no financing, and buy here, pay here. That's Weaver Auto Sales on Highway 46 in Spencer, where experience speaks for itself.
At ISU The May Agency, we take pride in being a family-owned company serving clients nationwide where personal attention and enduring relationships are premium. At ISU The May Agency, we offer all lines of insurance from individual homeowner and automobile policies to life, health, and various other types of insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call ISU The May Agency, 334-2400. ISU The May Agency, where we are not about collecting premiums, but establishing relationships. 1327 North Walnut, Bloomington.
Classic Hits 97.7.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Well, timing is everything. While we were away, things got crazy. Stay crazy still, Jerry Baker, as the leaders head your way.
Indeed, they did. We had about 3 passes in that span of time. Hinchcliffe got it right now, and Ellie was right on his rear wing.
Yeah, moments ago, the fans jumped to their feet as the 3-time winner, Elio Castroneves, went to the lead. But, Jake, as we've seen all day, he wasn't able to keep it. Hinch back to the lead into turn 3.
Castroneves now all of a sudden has a little bit of activity from Ryan Hunter-Ray in his rearview mirror. Just as I say it, that number 3 machine starts to close the gap a little bit, and Hunter-Ray falls back.
We're approaching the halfway mark. It seems second is the place to be. That's where Castroneves is right now, looking to pass Hinchcliffe.
Elio Castroneves side by side with Hinch at the start-finish line. They'll stay that way into turn number 1.
108 laps to go, and Elio has retaken the lead. Hinchcliffe will drop in line, and Ryan Hunter-Ray is third.
The leaders will dart through the short chute. Elio leads, Hinchcliffe second, Hunter-Ray third, Joseph Newgarden fourth. Townsend Bell runs fifth. How about Sage Karam? Jake Query, he's up to 6th.
Castroneves jumps down to the bottom line, now starts to swing to the outside. Hinchcliffe is right there. Then Power in the 4th position, Hunter-Ray between the 2.
Castroneves about a 3-car length advantage on Hinchcliffe. Wheels on the white line, exits turn 4. In third is Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Couple of updates from pit road. Let's start with Kevin Lee.
Remember, Will Power had stayed out the last time. That allowed him, with the penalty falling to the back, to get back up to the front. He had pitted on 53, so he just came in a couple of laps ago. 8.5 seconds, no changes. Michael?
Yeah, Kevin down here with Ryan. And we've got a problem in turn number 2. Sage Karam has pounded the outside wall. He went side by side into turn number 1, made contact with the car to his inside, got sideways and glanced it off the wall. Now has ridden the wall all the way around the turn 2 suites. Sage Karam's day is done. The right side of that car heavily damaged here in turn 2.
Davey, he was plus 11 on the day and worked his way into the top 10.
Oh, my goodness. He was not only in the top 10, he was working his way into the 4th position. He went on the outside of Townsend, but Townsend just not, he's just not giving any. I've watched him get to the lead, but he just, anytime somebody tries to pass, man, he's hard on him. He's very hard on him, and Sage got on the outside of him, ran through there, and there just wasn't room for both of them, unfortunately.
Caution on the course, lap 94. Your leader is Elio Castroneves.
This Memorial Day weekend, Navy Federal Credit Union would like to salute all of our men and women who are serving or have served in the armed forces. Thank you.
When's the best time to enjoy Twisted Tea?
Why don't we do a little day drinking?
The hard iced tea brewed like a beer that tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real iced tea. Hanging out at the pool, fishing with your buddy. Twisted Tea hard iced tea tastes great anytime. Cool, refreshing, smooth, but with a kick.
Why don't we do a little day drinking?
Twisted Tea, real iced tea taste with a kick.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
Ever notice that when something is super special, it ends up on a list? Like a Hall of Fame or a top 10. At Super 8 Hotels, we love lists. Lists like our amenities, free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and even Wyndham Rewards points for loyalty members. We even have lists of great discounts for the military, auto clubs, and smart people that book in advance. It's a great stay at a price that fits. Sounds like we should definitely make your list. Super 8 Hotels. Stay super at super8.com.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Stop into Valley Chevrolet, your outlet for savings in Spencer. Stop into Valley and take advantage of unbelievable savings on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles. Choose from one of their many vehicles available for up to 60% off. All vehicles are clearly priced and ready for immediate possession. So don't make the mistake of going somewhere else when your choice is easy. Valley Chevrolet at the corner of Highways 231 and 46 in Spencer, your outlet for savings. Check out valley-chevy.com.
IU Credit Union.
Buying a house often makes smart financial sense. When you're ready to stop paying rent and purchase a house that you can call home, the mortgage professionals at IU Credit Union are ready to help. Have questions about buying your first home? Give our mortgage professionals a call at 888-855-MyCU.
We started a credit union and created a community. Classic hits, WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Third caution of the day, 95 of the 200 laps complete. Elio Castro-Neves, Ryan Hunter-Reay, James Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell, Joseph Newgarden in your top five. Davey Hamilton, you've had a chance to look at several angles of the replay, the incident involving Sage Karam.
Yeah, it was brewing to happen. They came down the front straightaway, and they actually split Joseph Newgarden with Bell going low and Sage going high. Sage had the lead going into turn one. I think he lifted a little bit just to make sure it was a caution, and Townsend was there. They got together, just wasn't enough room for both cars to go through. They have a slight touch, and Sage straightened the fence.
Little by little, Will Power starts to work his way back into contention. He pitted just a few laps ago, and he is the only non-taker right now. Elio Castro-Neves, your leader. That canary yellow Pennzoil machine heads to pit road.
Elio Castro-Neves, the captain, Roger Penske on the radio with him. Do you want a half turnout? Elio said no. He said, that's fine. Just go ahead and use your tools. So the Penske team goes to work. Second place is Ryan Hunter-Reay, that DHL Chevrolet. A little slower stop. Elio Castro-Neves the first out. Another good stop for James Hinchcliffe, but he will not be able to beat out Ryan Hunter-Reay. So it's Hinchcliffe coming out second, but a beautiful stop for Elio Castro-Neves in that gang. Kevin?
Charlie Kimball is going to lose all kinds of track position. He was 14th, but he took debris from that contact. He thought he had something stuck on the wishbone, and they are changing the front wing. And keep an eye on Tony Kanaan as well. He said he got hit in the hand with debris. The toughest guy we know here is in a big deal of pain, Dave.
Steady as she goes for J.R. Hildebrand, who started 15th and has been pretty much there throughout the course of today's race. 10-second stop for that Ed Carpenter Racing group. And then Sebastian Bourdais, Max Chilton, Connor Daly also pitting that last time by. Daly's moved up a little bit. Back to Michael Young.
Yeah, guys, and for Ryan Hunter-Reay, Ray Gosselin has been coaching him this entire race. They want to run either first or second. They said, let's not get any further down than that. Well, Elio Castro-Neves and James Hinchcliffe were both able to get around him. They rode around, and they were actually trying to save as much fuel as they can, trying to hit a lap number, but obviously this caution has changed things up, but still a good stop for Ryan Hunter-Reay. Kevin?
Marco Andretti is someone who's been quiet today, but is moving his way to the front. Last time he told his dad, Michael Andretti, on his stand, it's time to get going. It's a track position race. They did take a turn of front wing that time. He likes his car, and he's moved his way up to 6th.
Connor Daly is another driver. It's moved up a little bit, but some pit stops have cost him a few spots as well. So Daly out of Noblesville, Indiana, has gone back and forth throughout the course of this event. Sage Karam, I tell you what, I was listening to this radio just moments before the accident. He got on there and says, guys, this car is amazing, and congratulated the crew. And next thing you know, he ends up in the wall.
Davey Brian Clausen stayed out, as did Will Power, Elio Castro-Neves, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell. Pretty good stops for all the front runners.
Yeah, really good stops. Now, Power, as you said, he's kind of back on strategy. His last pit stop was on lap 91. These guys just came in on lap 96, so he's only 5 laps off. But he has a lot of work to do. He's in the back of the field. He has to work his way. He finds himself in that 29th spot, but at least he's on the lead lap.
Nick Yeoman, update us on the conditions, the cleanup in turn number 2.
Yeah, this is a pretty lengthy cleanup because the initial contact happened at the exit of turn number 1. That's where Sage Karam hit the most, and it tore up the right side of that race car, and then he just rode that outside wall all the way through the short chute, all the way through turn number 2 to the exit of turn 2. So numerous Homatro safety vehicles have passed through. They've tried to pick up as much debris as they can, working on 2 spots right now where Sage hit at the exit of turn 1 and where his car came to a stop, and I would assume laid down a lot of fluids, oils, all over the racetrack there at the exit of turn number 2. But the cleanup continues here on the south end.
At the halfway point, as we always do, we'll visit with the chief engineer for Firestone now, Dale Harrigal. And Dale, how is the race looking thus far in terms of Firestone Firehawk performance?
You know, we're really happy with the Firehawks today. That everything's been great. The wear looks good. The wear life looks good. And, you know, we've seen cars passing each other real late into the corner, so everything's fine for us.
How about this special sidewall for this year's running, the 100? Tell us a bit about the process that went into that.
You know, it started with an idea, I think, way back last November, and we worked on it all off season, and I think around February we came up with the final design, and we're just thrilled with the reaction. The drivers have been super happy with it. Seeing the big Firehawk on the JW Marriott downtown is pretty cool. The parade float for Firestone was based on that tire. The reaction's been great, and we just love it.
I know each and every year is like Christmas, but Dale, considering you guys at Firestone go all the way back to 1911, how excited were you as a company and an organization to take part in this event?
You know, we were super excited. I mean, the race tire development team did a great job designing the tire. Our production facility did a great job building it. And we really want to thank the fans. You know, an event doesn't get to 100 years without a lot of fan support, and it's really thrilling to see everybody here today, and it's just been an epic day for Firestone.
Dale Harrigal, the chief engineer for Firestone. Dale, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the IMS Radio Network.
Broadcasting from the Mid-America Bloomington Studio Complex, this is Classic Hits.
WCLS, Spencer, Bloomington, Ellisville.
Classic Hits Radio.
Ryan Hunter-Reay has been among the front runners all day long. Let's get an update from his pit box and Michael Young.
Yeah, indeed. We're getting ready to talk to the captain, Roger Penske. But talking with Ray Gosling, listening to him on the radio, they said this caution really screwed us up. They were trying to hit fuel numbers. This will put that car, if everything goes green, 13 laps short. So certainly they're going to have to do a lot of work down in the 28 camp if they want to keep hitting their numbers. We'll see if we can grab a word with Roger Penske here in a second.
Continuing under caution, Donald Davidson.
Okay, thank you, Mark. The average speed, which had climbed as high as 218, now it's dropped to 166. Anyway, our short track fans will get a big kick out of knowing that Brian Clausen is leading the Indianapolis 500. Among the rookies, Alexander Rossi has been the strongest all day. He's ran 10th, or it was running 10th right before this round of pit stops. Evidently something has happened because he came out in 25th. Now we have the 5 rookies are in consecutive positions. We got Max Chilton in 22nd, followed by Spencer Piggott, Matt Brabham, Alexander Rossi, and Stephen Wilson are 22 through 26. So decide or making your choice of who do you think should be Rookie of the Year. That's going to be pretty difficult right now.
Michael Young, you've caught up with the pace car driver that started today's race, the captain, Roger Penske.
Indeed. Before we talk about your race thus far, how was driving that pace car for you?
It was really fun. It was great to look in those mirrors and see those guys all behind us in formation. You know, never that close. You see them come down from the pit stand, but what a great day. What a great day. I want to thank all the fans for coming out here and making this a historic race.
You were quite a fan as well. I saw when the legendary cars went out, you were doing as much cheering as the fans were.
Yeah, I thought that was great to see those cars from the different decades. It's just amazing to see the history here.
Talk quickly about Elio's day. Obviously, this crew has done a great job to put him in front, but he is doing a great job as a driver as well to get this car to the lead.
He's doing a great job. You know, it's a long race. It looks like we don't have quite the power on the takeoff on the restarts, but as the race goes on, I think the aero work and the handling work looks pretty good, and he's done a terrific job. But long way to go, 100 laps to go. You just got to you can see the front.
Best of luck the rest of the day, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Dave first.
Yeah, Donald just talked about Brian Clausen leading the Indy 500. That's the sound of the 88 machine leaving pit road as he finally makes that pit stop. But I tell you what, kudos to Brian Clausen. First year he was here, he only finished 47 laps before he had mechanical issues. Then last year crashed out on lap 62. Heck, we're halfway. So small steps for Brian Clausen. He's enjoying his ride here this afternoon.
100 laps complete. Elio Castroneves is your leader. Ryan Hunter-Reay is second. James Hinchcliffe is third. Townsend Bell is fourth. Marco Andretti is fifth. Tony Kanaan, 6th. 7th, Joseph Newgarden. 8th is Carlos Munoz. 9th is Graham Rahal. 10th is Mikel Aloshin. Scott Dixon, 11th. 12th is Simon Pagino. J.R. Hildebrand is 13th. 14th, Oriol Servia. 15th, Gabby Chavez. 16th, Connor Daly. 17th, Alex Tagliani. At 18th, Sebastian Bourdais. Jack Hawksworth is 19th. 20th, Takuma Sato. Chilton is 21st. Piggott is 22nd. Brabham, 23rd. Wilson, 24th. Pippa Mann, 25th. Will Power, 26th. Rossi, 27th. Brian Clausen is 28th. Charlie Kimball, 29th. Sage Karam out of the race. He's 30th. Ed Carpenter, 31st. Juan Montoya out of the race, 32nd. Buddy Lazier in 33rd. 9 leaders, 32 lead changes, 3 cautions for 25 laps. This leaderboard update brought to you by Prime Sport. Prime Sport is the preferred travel partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
The IMS Radio Network would like to welcome back Exergen, the makers of Exergen temporal scanner thermometers, as a sponsor for the 5th straight year. Exergen will once again be sponsoring the Green Flag Temperature and the IMS Radio Network Pit Reporters. Exergen, changing the way the world takes temperature.
40 years ago, they thought it was impossible to brew a great-tasting light beer. So we got to brewing and told them to sip on this. Great-tasting Miller Lite, the original light beer. Spelled different because it's brewed different. Great beer, great responsibility. 2016 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounce, 96 calories, 3.2 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram protein, 0 grams fat.
I'm IndyCar driver Marco Andretti, and when the voice in my stomach asks for a snack, I grab all-natural Oberto beef jerky, the most delicious lean protein around. Oberto is packed with savory cuts of lean beef that satisfies my hunger for 500 miles. When the voice in your stomach says it wants a nutritious snack, drive as fast as you can, or drive responsibly to your nearest retailer and pick up a bag of all-natural Oberto beef jerky.
Oberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Oberto's all-natural line of beef jerky. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network. Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
If your car's been dented, dinged, or smashed, don't cry. Just come to Tony Kinzer Body Shop on Smith Pike Road in Bloomington, because the Tony Kinzer Body Shop has been making cars just like new for over 35 years by providing you professional auto body collision repairs and painting services. Our #1 commitment, to give you the best service possible. That's why Tony Kinzer Body Shop has received the Angie's List Super Service Award. Don't cry. Just call Tony Kinzer Body Shop in Bloomington, 812-339-1873. Tony Kinzer Body Shop, making cars brand new.
If you're looking for that unique gift or item that you just can't seem to find anywhere else, stop into Julie Bob's at their brand new location at 5798 Main Street in Freedom. At Julie Bob's, you'll find a large variety of used furniture, antiques, books, and collectible items. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 4:30, and Sunday, 10 to 2 for your shopping convenience. That's Julie Bob's, newly located at 5798 Main Street in Freedom.
It's race day on 97.7
WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
So, Davey Hamilton, we see the sweepers putting in some overtime, if you will, preparing for one to go at the line, and I think that's a really sound move, especially considering how much of the racetrack these drivers are trying to use.
Yeah, they're trying to use it all up. We just seen Sage try to, he's on that second groove, not enough room for both of them through there, but these sweepers go out and get all the debris, all the marbles off the track while there's an incident being cleaned up. Just the best for racing all around.
Hunter Ray, Castro Neves, Hinchcliffe, Bell, they've been the class of the field, but there are some interlopers looming. Andretti, Kanaan, how about Graham Rahal, plus 17 on the day?
Yeah, Graham coming up. Munoz is still hanging in there. Newgarden's up and down fading. I'll tell you, but the consistent ones are those Hondas of Hunter Ray, Hinchcliffe, and Bell. That's the most consistent guys up front right now.
Don't you think guys like Tony Kanaan and Graham Rahal, they don't like the idea, but would they love to be paid X amount of dollars for every car they're forced to pass week in and week out?
Well, that's
these guys have done it all year.
Back in good old short track racing, it was you got paid on positions gained. That was always good, and they'd love it. That right now, as you say, Rahal 17. How about Tagliani? Started 33rd in this field right now. He's up 16 spots, so good run for him today.
Ryan Hunter-Ray has led 44 laps today. Hinch has led 26. Castro Neves has led 9. Power has led 8 laps today. Townsend Bell the same. Again, movers and shakers. Ray Hall plus 17, Tagliani plus 16, Kanaan plus 12. Jack Hawksworth giving ABC Supply and A.J. Foyt a pretty good ride today. He, too, is plus 12. Pace car pulls off the course. Elio Castroneves with the field in tow. It's Elio, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell, Marco Andretti. Hunter-Ray, side by side, going to grab him into turn number 1, mate.
He went to the outside, made the move, and look out, here comes Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan is going to take over the number 3 spot right behind Elio, make it second.
Oh, vintage Tony Kanaan as he jumps to the outside. Joseph Newgarden does it as well, so Kanaan moves to 3rd, Newgarden up to 5th.
Pair of blue machines behind a pair of yellow up front. Field now starts to go 3 wide, about 5 back. That's the form of James Hinchcliffe, Hunter-Ray, Castroneves, Tony Kanaan into turn number 4.
Newgarden has forced his way into 4th. He's behind the blue machine of Kanaan. You've got the 2 yellow machines, the DHL of Hunter-Ray, and then Elio Castroneves.
Elio Castroneves working over both side pods of Ryan Hunter-Ray into turn number 1.
Here they come, 2 by 2, and Elio will hang on to the lead. Ryan Hunter-Ray will run second.
2 years ago, those two battled for the win. Elio clear out of turn number 2, 6 to 7 car length advantage back to Ryan Hunter-Ray, but a 10 car length advantage back to Tony Kanaan in 3rd.
Castroneves is just 5 laps from 20th all-time in laps led at this speedway, but the guy in front of him is just 2 cars behind him in the form of Tony Kanaan.
Elio Castroneves, short shoot on the north end, has about a 3-car length lead. They're 2 wide out of turn 4. Hinchcliffe on the outside of Newgarden.
Stuck together, Ryan Hunter-Ray bounces to the outside. He's going to take Tony Kanaan with him into turn number 1.
Here they come, almost 3 wide, and Ryan Hunter-Ray will take the lead.
Unbelievable. Hunter-Ray to the lead, Kanaan to 2nd. Here comes Townsend Bell. He darts around Elio Castroneves, and here comes James Hinchcliffe. Joseph Newgarden. He'll jump to the inside of Elio, side by side, Jake down the backstretch.
Kanaan and Hunter-Ray and Townsend Bell as well, all getting by Castroneves. Now so too Hinchcliffe, and then Newgarden. Castroneves drops back.
Kanaan trying to hunt down Ryan Hunter-Ray, a pair of former winners here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh, a 3-wide show in front of Jake Query that time at the end of that 5/8 of a mile back straightaway. Ryan Hunter-Ray into turn number 1.
Here he comes. He's got the lead, but he may not have it very long. Tony Kanaan is right on his rear wing over the return 2.
He sure is, Bake. It's about 3 or 4 car lengths as the rest of the field finally settles down and goes single file. TK stuck in the rear wing of Hunter-Ray.
Tony Kanaan could tie A.J. Foyt for most Indianapolis 500 miles with at least a lap led, but he's got work to do. He's 3 car lengths behind the leader, Hunter-Ray.
Most of the fans here in turn 4 are on their feet. A 2-car length advantage for Hunter-Ray. Chasing him down is Tony Kanaan.
Some separation for the top 3 now. Tony Kanaan trying to close the gap on Ryan Hunter-Ray, but here comes Townsend Bell.
Get ready, because we've got a newer leader. It is Tony Kanaan. He has just taken over the 2016 Indy 500.
And you might hear the fans in the background all on their feet, fist pumping as Tony Kanaan has the lead here in Indianapolis.
Said it years ago, I'll say it again. Tony Kanaan may be Brazilian. He's an American citizen now, and albeit an adopted Hoosier. Everybody pumping fists in turn number 3 for car number 10.
He has gained a little bit of a 2-car length advantage in the short shoot on the north end here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, trying to hold off Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Davey, some issues for Elio Castroneves. He's dropped back to 5th as Ryan Hunter-Ray heads toward turn 1.
Yeah, we see some of those Penske cars, Marcus, falling back. Castroneves and Simon Pagenaud, he's been falling down the charts as well.
Ryan Hunter-Ray back to the front in front of Nick Yeoman.
And he'll stretch that lead out to about 8 to 9 car lengths. Tony Kanaan, just a 2-car length lead over Townsend Bell. James Hinchcliffe waiting in the wake, threading there in 4th.
Hunter-Ray about 4 car lengths ahead of Kanaan, and then as you'd mentioned, Nick, you've got Townsend Bell. Hinchcliffe took a look to the inside. Newgarden followed his tracks in 5th.
Townsend Bell has his eyes set on Tony Kanaan in 2nd. About a 5-car length advantage for Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Townsend Bell with a nice run off of turn number 4. He's all over Tony Kanaan. Makes the move into turn number 1.
90 laps to go, and here comes Townsend Bell. He gets around Tony Kanaan. Now sets his sights on Ryan Hunter-Reay.
90 laps to go, Bake, but you'd think there were only 9. Hunter-Reay darts off of turn number 2. Townsend Bell, his teammate, looking for the lead as they head down the backstretch.
Townsend Bell and Hunter-Reay look like one yellow dot coming into turn number 3. Another yellow dot a little bit further back. That's the form of Castroneves, who works his way into 5th.
Hunter-Reay maintaining that lead about 3 to 4 car lengths over Townsend Bell. And then it's James Hinchcliffe, the Aero machine, that's worked his way to 3rd.
Lap 110 complete. Hunter-Reay, Bell, Hinchcliffe, Kanaan, Castroneves. As quick as we say it, positions start to change, Jerry Baker.
Change coming into turn 1, though, Mike, because they're already in the south chute and they're setting up for the number 2 turn.
Hey, got a driver to keep your eye on. It's the 3rd generation Andretti. Marco Andretti gets around Joseph Newgarden. Jake, Andretti's up to 6th.
Yeah, let's talk about those 2nd generation and 3rd generation drivers, because Marco Andretti not the only one making noise. How about Graham Rahal? Maybe steady, certainly not slow. Rahal now in 12th.
Marco Andretti in that Snapple machine. He's got the yellow and blue colors, but it's his teammate Ryan Hunter-Reay with the lead.
Townsend Bell with a strong run off of turn number 4. Looks like he might be trying to set up Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Indeed he is. He'll go to the inside, put those left side wheels right down on that white line. He takes the lead, Townsend Bell.
Move Marco Andretti up to 5th. He gets around Tony Kanaan. So is Joseph Newgarden. So Newgarden up to 6th. Kanaan kicked back to 7th as they race down the backstretch.
Man, I'll tell you, what a group up front that just keeps seeming to rotate through. Right now, the leader is Townsend Bell, but James Hinchcliffe tries to look to the inside, entering 3 on Hunter-Reay, can't make the move.
He's in that golden black machine, the pole sitter, James Hinchcliffe, currently in 3rd. It's Bell exiting 4th, the lead, 3 car lengths over Hunter-Reay.
Hinch took a peek at Ryan Hunter-Reay into 3, and Ryan Hunter-Reay didn't agree with that.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, he's trying to get past Bell for that lead again, and when Hinch put pressure on him, he shut that door for sure.
Well, happy to have in the broadcast booth with us. You heard him in the open. We're happy to have him back here after a 2-year absence. Mike King, welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You picked a good one to come back for.
Man, it's unbelievable, Mark, and congratulations to you. Voice of the 500 men. You've got a heck of a race here on your hands, and what a gorgeous day for the 100th 350,000 people, Mark, seeing an unbelievable show. And if it stays like this, we still got 3 pit stops that we've got to get out of the way. But, Mark, we're probably going to have a, 8, 9, 10-car shootout on the final laps of this year's 500?
Yeah, I don't know. It's for owners and drivers, it's got to be hair-raising, but these fans are enjoying the show.
You know, to see what we're seeing, the expertise of these drivers out in front, and, you know, we all marvel at what Townsend Bell is able to do. Of course, Townsend, most of the season is an analyst, and we've got a problem in turn number 2.
Oh, we've got one car around. It's Michaela Lotion, and as he spun, it appears that Connor Daly got tagged as well. Big, heavy suspension issues for Lotion as his car comes to stop right at the entrance of turn number 2. The rear wing of Connor Daly's car is dislodged. He pulls away, but a 2-car accident here at the south end of the racetrack.
114 laps complete. Caution on the course here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
The best drivers on earth aren't going to push the limits of man and machine riding on just any old piece of rubber. Which is why Firestone is the tire of the Verizon IndyCar Series. So when it's time to celebrate the 100th running of the Indy 500, no one knows more about celebrating than the tire that has more Indy wins than anyone else. Because at Firestone, we don't just make tires. We make champions. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Hear that? Of course not, because a dead car battery doesn't make a sound. You know who does make sound? Your daughter. And if you miss her big game, she'll make plenty of angry, high-pitched sounds. Better head to your neighborhood Advance Auto Parts. We offer free battery testing, a 3-year replacement warranty on our Platinum batteries, and free installation from one of our parts pros. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road. Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
If you're in the market for a high-quality pre-owned vehicle, it's simple. Just stop by Weaver Auto Sales on Highway 46 in Spencer. Weaver Auto Sales has been in the auto sales business for over 15 years, so their experience speaks for itself. So if you're looking for a high-quality vehicle with low sales pressure, just call Weaver Auto Sales. Stop by and check out a great pre-owned vehicle available with no interest, no financing, and buy here, pay here. That's Weaver Auto Sales on Highway 46 in Spencer, where experience speaks for itself. There is a new leather craft store right here in B-Town. OTC Leather Crafts and More, 3902 South Walnut Street, Suite B. They have everything leather: belts, key fobs, leather supplies, tooling leather, hat bands. They even do custom orders. Stop by OTC Leather Crafts and More, 3902 South Walnut Street, and talk with Johnny or Lorna about a custom leather project, or call 812-822-2509, or check them out on the web, otcleathercrafts.com. OTC Leather Crafts and More, the leather store and more.
Classic Hits 97.7.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Caution on the course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Mark Janes, 116 laps complete of the 200. Two-car incident brought out this caution. Davey, Connor Daly, Mikel Voloshin involved.
Yeah, you know, Mikel, just simple, kind of like Montoya's. Went in the corner, late in the corner, just turned around. No real traffic, nobody next to him. But, boy, I'll tell you who had an eyeful was Graham Rahal was right behind him, and what all he could see was a car sideways and smoke, and he got by him. Another one, Connor Daly, what happened to him, he was 3 or 4 car lengths back, but just caught him off guard at the wrong time, looked like, and he spun around and actually had contact with Mikel, but they weren't really an incident together.
Davey, in recent memory, I think over the past few years especially, you know, going back further, you had instances where guys would hang around mid-pack somewhere outside the top 10, then all of a sudden the last 25 or 30 laps hit the button. Here today, through 116 laps, Bell, Hunter Ray, Hinch, those guys have all been there. Newgarden, they've all been very, very consistent. It's just over this last stint that guys like Elio and Andretti and Tony Kanaan have really started to run with the front.
Yeah, you know, the strong cars of the field, just no question. All I got to do is look at the leaderboard, and that's Hunter Ray leading 52 laps, Hinchcliffe leading 26, and Bell leading 12. Those 3 Hondas are the class of the field right now. Now, it mixes up a little bit, but those guys are the class of the field.
Townsend Bell is your leader. The whole crew comes to pit road, Michael Young.
Yeah, Townsend Bell, the first to hit pit lane. He hits its marks perfectly. That crew goes to work. California Pizza Kitchen, the sponsor on that car. Then it's Ryan Hunter-Ray and James Hinchcliffe. The race will be off pit road. All the leaders are on the end. Oh, we have contact! Contact in the pit lane! 2 cars. That is Townsend Bell and Ryan Hunter-Ray. Elio Castroneves was able to make it out, but it looked like Bell potentially made contact with Elio Castroneves. Chaos at the end of the pit lane here at turn number 1. Kevin Lee. Let's go up to the booth.
Man, how many times have we seen that pit lane so tight down there? And really what happened, Townsend was trying to get that lead, shot out in that second lane, and ran right inside of Elio Castroneves, which shot him back right in front of his teammate, the 2 fastest guys out there. Yeah, he just went out of his lane, someone like we just seen earlier on.
Let's go back to pit road now, continue to update, recap the pit stops. Let's start with Kevin Lee.
John had a lightning quick pit stop. They've been debating whether to take out downforce. He thinks we may have to do it, but there's a concern about the conditions changing right now. Sun in and out. And then also Marco Andretti made a front wing adjustment. Both of those guys are contenders. Rob?
Changes whatsoever for Graham Rahal, quietly working his way up the ranks here right now. The team did a great job for him, brought him in for new tires, full of fuel, 7.9 seconds. A great stop for Rahal, who's looking to get a big win here in the 100th running. Michael Young?
And Hunter Ray and Townsend Bell sit quietly in their car. When Bell's car hit the inside of the pit lane, he threw his hands in the air in disgust, clearly upset with the situation. Trying to get Ryan Hunter Ray restarted. They replace the front wing, but problems. Now Bell goes screaming out. They can't get Ryan Hunter Ray restarted. He'll go a lap down. Frustration for the 28 guys. Rob?
Scott Dixon continues to try to tune in his race car. He hasn't been able to crack the top 10 throughout the day. They've been tuning on it throughout the day, just trying to make sure they stay in contention. He's still in the middle of the pack and has an opportunity. Dave?
An opportunity to catch up here with Connor Daly, who he was a man on the move, made up some 10 spots, was riding as high as 14th before he got collected in the accident with Michaela Lotion. What did you see out there?
Nothing. That was the issue. There was so much smoke. I just jumped off the throttle to try and I thought I was literally headed straight for him, so I was trying to cut left and just lost the rear as soon as I cut left. So I just wish I had a little bit more luck here. We had such a great car. We were on the move. But still, I can't. This place is really unkind to me.
Tough start for the man from Noblesville, Indiana. Rob Howden?
So, Davey Hamilton, an innocent bystander in all of that. The 3 of Elio Castroneves. A little bit of damage on that car remains to be seen if it's going to affect the handling of it.
Yeah, we've yet to see. I mean, he definitely was I see some rubber marks on the side of his car. Nothing he could do, but boy, it's good for guys like Hinchcliffe, Kanaan, and Andretti. Moves him up about 3 spots.
So, Mike King, let's take one more real quick visit. You were down there once upon a time, as was I, and what an incredible place. Fortunes can change so quickly on pit road here.
Yeah, pits here are everything during the 7 or 8 stops that you have to make, Mark, as you well know, during the Indianapolis 500, and we've still got a couple yet to go. Alex Tagliani takes over the lead. It's been an incredible day, and I think at this point, Mark, we have so many good drivers that are going to have a shot at this thing. Already at 37 lead changes, and who knows, we could potentially see a new record today for lead changes in an Indy 500. But certainly, we just saw 2 of the leading contenders probably knocked out in this incident on pit road.
If we get a chance, we'll visit with you. If not before the checkered flag, we'll certainly bring you back for the post race.
I'll hang around.
Yep.
I'll hang around.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Alex Tagliani. Lap 119, your leader, 81 laps to go. Rossi, Castroneves, Pagenaud, and Hinchcliffe, your top 5 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
This Memorial Day weekend, Navy Federal Credit Union would like to salute all of our men and women who are serving or have served in the armed forces. Thank you.
When's the best time to enjoy Twisted Tea? Why don't we do a little day drinking? The hard iced tea brewed like a beer that tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real iced tea. Hanging out at the pool, fishing with your buddy. Twisted Tea hard iced tea tastes great anytime. Cool, refreshing, smooth, but with a kick. Why don't we do a little day drinking? Twisted Tea, real iced tea taste with a kick.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
Chances are, you don't like this song. And there's no way anybody likes this, except maybe your dad. Truth is, the vast majority of music out there probably doesn't quite do it for you. But luckily, the all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze has your back. Or maybe it's your ears. Because with available Apple CarPlay compatibility, your favorite music and playlists are just a tap away. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Vehicle user interface is a product of Apple, and its terms and privacy statements apply. Requires compatible smartphone and data plan rates apply.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Buy a house, get a rebate.
Buy a bigger house, get a bigger rebate.
Build a new house, get a rebate.
When you buy your next home through ValueNet Realty, you'll be rewarded with a huge rebate at closing. ValueNet Realty rebates are available on any listed properties.
ValueNet Realty is revolutionizing real estate by rewarding home buyers with huge rebates.
And saving home sellers 45 to 99%.
In Bloomington, your ValueNet Realty realtor is Bob Double.
Call him today, 327-5194.
Tim and Wanda from Meineke Car Care Center would like to invite you to visit any one of their 3 locations in Bloomington and Ellettsville and make Meineke your go-to car care center for all your car's maintenance and repairs. Meineke will put your mind at ease. Visit any of their 3 locations, open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and for money-saving coupons, go to Meineke.com. Meineke's commitment to you begins with Tim, Wanda, and their professional staff, and they look forward to meeting you.
Classic hits, WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the green flag is out, and Alexander Rossi made quick work of Alex Tagliani. They come out of the north end and head down that long main straightaway. Rossi with Tagliani in tow. Then it's Hinchcliffe and Elio Castroneves just behind.
Tagliani started dead last of the field. Rossi 11th, and they are the front runners right now as they head down the torch chute.
A year ago, Alexander Rossi was racing in Monaco. Quite a different story, Jake, as the rookie out front, leading for Andretti Autosport down the backstretch.
Tagliani has now led 6 straight Indianapolis 500s, believe it or not. That actually is 1 race shy of Tony Kanaan's record. Alexander Rossi now is the leader, though, with Tagliani just behind him.
Tagliani about a car and a half length behind Rossi, the fastest qualifying rookie. Tagliani ready to set him up for the pass.
Stop and go for Townsend Bell for that contact and drag race down the main straightaway into turn number 1.
Starting to go 3 wide, ever so briefly changed their minds, and the same twosome will lead that pack into the short chute.
Tagliani back to the lead. Then it is Alexander Rossi. James Hinchcliffe runs third. About 3 or 4 car lengths back to Helio Castroneves, the front 4 down the backstretch.
I'll tell you, working his way right back into the backstretch, coming off of pit road, and now getting taken side by side was Townsend Bell. Tagliani, a nifty move to get around him, even though Bell's the back marker.
And he's got the lead, about a 5 car length advantage with Bell, that back marker, involved in the accident on pit road. Tagliani with the lead.
Well, Davey, let's give people an idea of where Tagliani and Rossi stand based upon their last pit stop.
Yeah, how about this? Tagliani, Mark, started 33rd in this race. He's gained 32 positions to lead this darn thing. And Rossi, he's been running good all day, but he fell back. But that rookie lead laps is pretty impressive.
Alex Tagliani, again your leader. Rossi is P2, then Hinchcliffe, Tony Kanaan, and Helio Castroneves to Jake Query in 3.
Yep, indeed. Rossi right now trying to close in on Tagliani. Then you have behind him Rossi. It's Townsend Bell that is fracturing that 1 and 2 spot.
Yeah, now Townsend Bell is going to try to make a move on Tagliani, though he is a lap behind.
Can he do it? Rossi going side by side with Townsend Bell. 3 wide into 1, Jerry.
Oh, my goodness, how they got out of that disaster, I do not know. Out in front again, Tags and Rock and
somehow, Bank, they did make it. Alex Tagliani back to the lead. Then you've got that lap car of Townsend Bell. Then back to Alexander Rossi.
I remember a couple of years ago they did that, Bank, and you said you can't do this, and then that led to an accident. They must have listened to those dulcet tones. Everybody now single file into 4.
Single file north short chute here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Tagliani, who started 33rd, still with the lead.
Pretty nice move by Rossi down the main straightaway, side by side. Alexander Rossi wants the lead here in Indianapolis.
And Rossi's going to get it, but he's got a lot of company. I mean, a lot of company. He's got the 98 car of Rossi right, and Tagliani right with him right into turn 2.
Yeah, Tagliani shut the door. Townsend Bell, the lap car, got around Tagliani, but the door was shut for Rossi. So Tagliani, Jake, maintains the lead down the back straightaway.
The unfortunate incident that made for a long day for Michael Andretti is actually the beneficiary of that satellite team. Alexander Rossi finds his way in second, still trying to close in on the leader, Tagliani.
He has increased the gap to about 4 car lengths. The black and orange machine started 33rd. He's first.
People might be wondering, what is Townsend Bell doing? David, he's trying to knock himself, get back into contention.
Yeah, he was 2 laps down. He's now 1 lap down. So him getting in front of those guys, if yellow was to come out, it would put him to the back of the field, but only 1 lap down.
Well, we've completed 127 of 200 laps. Alex Tagliani is P1, then Alexander Rossi, then James Hinchcliffe is 3rd. 4th is Tony Kanaan. 5th is Helio Castroneves. 6th is Joseph Newgarden. 7th is Marco Andretti. Carlos Munoz is 8th. Graham Rahal is 9th. Scott Dixon is 10th. Lo and behold, look at Graham Rahal. He continues to pick off position.
Yeah, how about Scott Dixon? We haven't talked about him much all day. He actually just now, as you spoke, got around Graham Rahal, but those guys that we haven't heard much, that Dixon, Rahal, Sato finds himself in 11th, Bourdais 12th. So we see some guys trying to creep to the front.
That's not the first time we've not said much about Scott Dixon in the first half of the race, and then all of a sudden find him near the podium.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a few years back, or I think my last year here, where he had a pit incident, found himself in the back of the field, out of contention, and just kept plugging away and found himself in the top 5. So that guy he knows how to do this race.
Jake, not only is Townsend Bell pulling away, but so is Alexander Rossi.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Tony Kanaan just made a nice move to move himself back into the 4th position. Field now in turn 4.
Moving down the front straightaway, the Napa machine of Rossi is in the lead.
Rossi all of a sudden has some separation. He is separating himself nicely from Alex Tagliani. Kanaan Bake trying to keep pace.
And they'll race out of turn number 2 now. go. Tony Kanaan, Jake, trying to run down Alex Tagliani for second.
Bell right now is the back marker, has Rossi right on him. That's actually a really good battle. Then that gap back, Tagliani, and then Kanaan right there before Hinch.
Boy, on the north end of the track, that gap has really widened. Rossi and Tagliani. It is a good 20 car lengths.
Alexander Rossi continues to lead, 129 laps complete here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
This is Lauren Bolander-Kanan. We rely on the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. #1 for doctors, nurses, and moms.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
If you're heading over to a friend's house for a get-together, you're probably bringing some beer. Now, some people think the beer you bring says a lot about who you are. If that's the case, Miller Lite says you like drinking beer. Great tasting, less filling beer. Miller Lite. Spelled different because it's brewed different. Great beer, great responsibility. 2016 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Geico presents Kathy, the Candid Real Estate Agent.
Now in the living room, you'll see this beautiful bay window. It's energy efficient and lets in a ton of natural light. It will also let in a thief when you leave it unlocked, and he'll steal your laptop and flat screen TV. Now who wants to see the kitchen?
It's hard to know all that comes with renting a home or apartment. That's why the Geico Insurance Agency makes getting covered for personal property loss and damage quick and easy. Visit geico.com and see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Stop into Valley Chevrolet, your outlet for savings in Spencer. Stop into Valley and take advantage of unbelievable savings on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles. Choose from one of their many vehicles available for up to 60% off. All vehicles are clearly priced and ready for immediate possession. So don't make the mistake of going somewhere else when your choice is easy. Valley Chevrolet at the corner of Highways 231 and 46 in Spencer, your outlet for savings. Check out valley-chevy.com.
IU Credit Union.
A mortgage shouldn't be a burden. When you are ready to move from an apartment to an affordable house that is cost and energy efficient, the mortgage professionals at IU Credit Union are ready to help. We'll make sure your loan isn't bigger than your house so you can live the life you want. Find out more at iucu.org.
We started a credit union and created a community.
It's race day on 97.7.
WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
67 laps to go, 134 now complete, so 66 to go. While Alexander Rossi and Alex Tagliani continue to pace the field, Davey, they're going to need pit stops sooner than the rest of the field.
Wow, I'm surprised that they've made it as far as they have. I know there was a lot of yellow. They got him up there. But right now, Rossi, though, just at second fastest lap of the race. Sato was the quickest lap of the, not the race, but of that particular lap. But Rossi and Tagliani find themselves first and second, but they have to pit pretty soon. Another thing, we have Andretti slowing. We've heard that before in the past. Something with Marco Andretti slowing down, finds himself in that 19th position.
More on Alex Tagliani's situation with Rob Howden.
They're obviously working really hard here for Alex Tagliani. He started on the final row in the 33rd position. He'll bring the Alpha heat treating machine into pit lane here right now. They're going to put on 4 sticker tires. They're going to take actually a little front wing out of the race car right now, complaining that the car is a little bit loose going into the corners. About an 11-second stop for him right now. They wanted to get this thing fully full of fuel because he is ready to go. Tagliani, they're really trying to manufacture a great finish here, guys.
Marco Andretti running consistently around the top 10 or 12 most of the day. Kevin Lee, that's no longer the case.
And listening to Marco on the radio, I have no idea what he's saying because he's screaming, and they don't know what the problem is at this point. Their best guess first was that they've got tire pressure off on the left front. They're going to have to bring him in early. I think there was a mistake maybe made in the calculations or in the settings in the last pit stop. So Marco Andretti's car is diabolical. He's dropped from 5th all the way back to beyond 19th.
Alexander Rossi pulls up on Townsend Bell. They're making their way toward Jay Query.
Rossi can't make the move just yet. Now keep in mind, Bell is still that back marker, but you got a big gap back before a pair of Brazilians at Castroneves and Kanaan.
Yeah, those cars have a similar look. Rossi trying to pass that lap car. He has a big lead with Castroneves in second.
But again, Davey, Alexander Rossi is going to have to stop very, very soon.
Well, one thing, yeah, he's going to have to stop, and he's probably happy. He's behind his teammate, just drafting, get the best fuel mileage he can, and just to try to stay out there hoping. He's hoping for a yellow is what he's hoping for. But right now, he's going to have to come in the next few laps.
Anybody playing anything close to the vest, taking a wait-and-see approach, knowing you've got a couple of more stops to make, or they all just on the button and going for it?
This is no more wait-and-see. This is hammered down, and I'm surprised with some of the guys we see off the pace, like most of the Penske cars, actually, other than Helio Castroneves. But we got guys like Ray Hall, Sato, Dixon. I mean, those guys are creeping up. We haven't talked about them a lot, but they find themselves in 7th, 8th, and 9th right now.
Alexander Rossi climbs on the binders. We see all kinds of brake smoke coming up. He's got to woe it down to that pit road speed limit. Alexander Rossi makes that long haul down pit road in that Napa Auto Parts number 98 machine. He led for a while. He comes into the view of Michael Young.
Yeah, that young man did an awfully good job when he was in Formula One, finished 12th in the U.S. Grand Prix. Today, he's leading at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, albeit out of cycle. So a good stop for this young man, certainly a contender for Rookie of the Year, the fastest rookie. Down and away, that's top 10 seconds.
So, Davey, that turns the lead back to Helio Castroneves, Tony Kanaan, James Hinchcliffe, Carlos Munoz, and Joseph Newgarden. Davey, we'll get back to you in a moment. Marco Andretti's on pit road to Kevin Lee.
And the reason they didn't bring him in immediately is because they wanted to be able to get home and one more stop. Marco Andretti is in. He's gesturing with his hands. He's talking, trying to figure out what the issue was, how the car was so good and went to so bad. Andretti back out, but he still got a chance to finish up front because everyone else still needs 2 stops as well.
That's when the race strategist in his ear becomes so very, very, very valuable, Davey. You got to talk Marco Andretti back down a little bit.
Yeah, without that, it's frustrating. This is not only the Indianapolis 500, it's the 100th running. Every guy out here knows it's a special one to win. And, man, when you have those problems like we've seen Ed Carpenter and Sage and a few of these guys, man, it's just heartbreaker seeing them go out.
Well, the boyhood buddies make their way through the south end, talking about Helio Castroneves and Tony Kanaan. To you, Nick Yeoman.
And 2 of the most popular drivers in the modern era of open-wheel racing. They've got a nice gap, Jay Query. The front 2, Helio and TK, with about a 15 to 20 car length lead back to James Hinchcliffe.
I had said earlier that Kanaan had matched A.J. Foyt for most Indy 500s led. He's still a year shy of that. He's surpassed Al Unser and Mario Andretti for second on that list. He's behind a guy trying to match A.J. Foyt today in Castroneves.
Countrymen are coming down the front straightaway. 1-2, Castroneves and Kanaan.
Townsend Bell and Rossi going side by side into turn number 1. We'll watch them go away and see the leaders come back to you, Bank.
Yeah, they just passed us already, Mark. They are on just full speed ahead. They're already gone.
Yeah, they really are. Jay Query, you're going to have the 2 leaders, Helio Castroneves and Tony Kanaan, coming into your sight with a couple lap cars, fast lap cars at that, though, in front of them.
Yep, and that's the cars of Rossi and Bell just in front of Castroneves. Castroneves has about 3 car lengths to get to that duo.
Bright yellow car for Helio, bright blue car for Tony Kanaan. They're 1-2 out of 4.
Davey, no question, Helio Castroneves is pulling up on Alexander Rossi and Townsend Bell.
You know, and one thing that I just try to keep an eye on, Mark, just to see where everybody stands and how fast they are currently, Helio Castroneves continues to click the fastest laps off each time he goes by. Kanaan that time in 3rd, Newgarden 2nd quickest laps. So not only is he out there, he is clicking the fastest laps of the race off right now.
So Donald Davidson, we stand at 41 lead changes and 12 leaders. Where does that stand in history so far?
Well, 64 is the record. I remember for years it was 29. Then it went to 34, and then 32. And then 64. So it's a way to go yet, but it looks like it could be broken today.
Maybe if you have a fast race car, this is your favorite time of the race. If you don't, it's turning into a mighty long day.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. You want it to be over with. But right now, Helio Castroneves finds himself behind 2-lap cars, which is not a bad place to be because he doesn't have pressure from Tony Kanaan. Kanaan's in second, but he's a distant second behind him right now. And when I say distant second, it's not even a full second, but he's a ways back.
With this look back at 100, a lot of iconic companies are associated with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. None more so than the good folks, of course, at Borg Warner. James Verrier joins us here in the broadcast booth, an iconic name for sure. Tell our fans who may not know about this innovative company.
Yes, so first of all, fantastic to be here again. What a great day, what a great tradition. So we're about a $9 billion automotive company, and we deliver technologies around powertrain. So turbochargers are a great example, and transmissions and a lot of other things.
Yeah, those turbochargers being employed today and put through the paces.
And they're all working just beautifully so far.
The trophy itself, the most prized in all of motorsports, has some interesting features in terms of his height and weight, and more importantly, its monetary value. That's a pretty special piece.
It is. It stands at about over 5 feet tall. It's about 110 pounds. And we valued it a few years ago, and it's got a value of about $3.5 million. But I think a better real value is priceless, to be honest, for what it brings to the sport and what it brings to Borg Warner.
Well, I don't want to rub salt in the wounds of Juan Montoya, but you had a pretty sizable bonus up for grabs for a repeat winner.
Yeah, we do. We do a back-to-back winner. And so he would have got about $280,000 if he'd managed to win this thing. So we feel bad because Juan's been a great guy, and we've got a great affection with him. But we'll keep the money going, and the next one's going to be 300, so it keeps growing.
So I guess lastly, put into words from a company perspective, everyone from top to bottom at Borg Warner, the pride you feel at your association with this event each and every year, but being such an iconic part of it in the 100.
Yeah, it's unbelievably special, and I first got to do this about 4 years ago, and everybody told me how emotional I would be, and it was about double that amount. It's just so special. You know, to have our name associated with that trophy and with this race and everything to do with the sport. You know, and here you are on the 100th one, there's 400,000 people, millions on TV. It's just a proud moment, not just for me personally, but for everybody associated with our company. It's fantastic.
James Verrier of Borg Warner is our guest, and this is the second time we've visited in the last 24 hours. What has that been like? I caught you when you were on the go yesterday, for sure.
Yeah, it's a busy time, right? There's a lot going on, and you know, we have a lot of things that we do as part of it. One of the fun things is I get the pleasure of hanging out with quite a few of the former drivers from a few years ago, and you can imagine they tell some good stories. So every year I come, I learn a little bit more about some of that racing of 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So it's busy, but it's fantastic. It's fun. And we started a new tradition today where we did the parade of the trophy and brought it up to the bricks. And that's a new thing we've done, and one we're going to keep doing. That was very, very special.
As much as I love this perch, I envy you, because from here you go to Victory Lane.
I go from here to Victory Lane, and yeah, it doesn't get any better, right? It doesn't get any better. And so I'll be there in a few minutes and seeing who's going to win this great race, and welcome them home, put the wreath, and celebrate with them as they get the trophy.
Congratulations for all that Borg Warner has meant, means, and will mean to the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Thank you very, very much. It's great to be here. Thank you.
James Verrier from Borg Warner. We are 148 laps in at Elio Castroneves, just passed by Carlos Munoz. Action continues here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Hi, I'm Mario Andretti. Want to race? Enter the Firestone Race Andretti sweepstakes and race me at simple stuff like peeling an orange. And you can win a VIP weekend to the Indy 500. Follow Firestone Racing on Twitter or go to raceandretti.com. And good luck. You're going to need it.
Whatever you drive a Firestone.
No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or older. Void in Hawaii, Alaska, and where prohibited. Subject to official rules at raceandretti.com. Bridgestone America's Tire Operations, LLC, Nashville, Tennessee.
Progressive brings you Flowetry with Flow.
Find coverage based on your budget today. Stay in control of your spending. Insurance and your wallet splendidly blending. Be so happy, pappy, you'll just want to dance. Found a policy that fits you like painted on pants.
Get insurance based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
And now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
If you're looking for that unique gift or item that you just can't seem to find anywhere else, stop into Julie Bob's at their brand new location at 5798 Main Street in Freedom. At Julie Bob's, you'll find a large variety of used furniture, antiques, books, and collectible items. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 4:30, and Sunday, 10 to 2 for your shopping convenience. That's Julie Bob's, newly located at 5798 Main Street in Freedom.
Relationships are full of mix and match and make it work. An ordinary mattress is not soft enough for you, not firm enough for him. Enter Sleep Number. You can both adjust the mattress to your perfect firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number highest in customer satisfaction with mattresses. Don't miss the semi-annual sale. Save $500 on the Memorial Day Special Edition Queen mattress with Sleep IQ technology. Just $1599.98. Find us at one of our 5 stores in the Indianapolis area. For your local store, visit sleepnumber.com. For J.D. Power award information, go to jdpower.com. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Classic Hits 97.7.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
49 laps to go. Caution on the course. A bad day got worse for Buddy Lazier. And Nick Yeoman, you saw it from turn 2.
Yeah, a bit of a bizarre situation. Just as the leaders, Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves, Joseph Newgarden, among others, were making their way down pit lane, Buddy Lazier, the 1996 winner of the Indianapolis 500, was exiting pit lane. And as he arced it out of the turn number 1 section of the pit exit lane, the left front tire came off. It rolled all the way up the racetrack, bounced along the wall, and then came to a rest in the exit lane of turn number 2. And what made for such an interesting situation, Davey Hamilton, is that half the field was on pit lane, and there were some other drivers still out of the racetrack. This caution surely will hurt here with just a handful of laps to go.
Yeah, there's some guys that it's okay, like Castroneves, Kanaan, Newgarden, Hinchcliffe, Bourdais, Power, and Hildebrand. They all pitted, but did not go a lap down. The yellow came out just in time where they pitted. They slowed the field down. They got back out from the leaders. They're good. Munoz, Sato, Dixon, Rahal, Chilton, and Piggott, they have not pitted yet. But so what's going to happen, they're going to get cycled through and go all the way to the back of the field. Won't lose a lot of positions from where they were originally, but have to go all the way to the back of the field.
So, Davey, let's face it, there's absolutely no way that you could totally and completely prepare for these cautions to fall the way you hope they fall. You better have a plan B, C, D, and E.
Yeah, you know, I've lost some races on caution flags coming out at the wrong time, and it sure is a bummer. But then you could win them by the cautions coming out just at the right time. So yeah, it's luck of the draw. Ray Hall right now coming in, getting his pit stop taken care of, and heading out. Now you got to remember, there's only going to be one more stop after these, so it's coming down to the end.
Well, Ryan Hunter-Ray has led 52 laps today. James Hinchcliffe has led 26. Elio Castroneves has led 20. Townsend Bell has led 12 laps today. And Alex Tagliani has led 11. You talk about Spencer Piggott, where he stands right now means that he's plus 25 on the day. Tagliani is plus 16. Ray Hall plus 13. Tony Kanaan plus 12. And Jack Hawksworth is plus 11. Again, 12 leaders on this day, 42 lead changes, and Donald Davidson, we're going to have to go some to beat the all-time record for lead changes here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
We did make the statement earlier that it was 64. In fact, it's 68 is the record.
So, Davey, you mentioned one more stop to go. We see Simon Pagenaud coming onto pit road for some quick service. And I think what you go through the top 5, as you mentioned, top 4 or 5 through Spencer Piggott. And so you think the race is still between, right now, Elio Castroneves, Tony Kanaan, Newgarden, and Hinch.
Yeah, I think when they cycle through, it's going to be Castroneves leading it, Kanaan second, then Newgarden, Hinchcliffe, and Bourdais. How about Bourdais? Finds himself in the top 5 after we cycle through these stops. So, interesting enough that the guys that we expected to be towards the front, Andretti, we seen him shoot towards the front. Something happened to him. He finds himself at 27th right now. Simon Pagenaud finds himself at 22nd. The 3 in a row, he's going for 4 in a row, but just doesn't have the speed today. I mean, he's been running in the back and getting past a lot. If it wasn't for his quick pit stops, he'd be even worse than that.
Couple of stops occurring in front of Kevin Lee.
very bad break for both Takuma Sato and Scott Dixon. While many of the leaders pitted right before the yellow, they were set up trying to come in. They did not get on pit lane, though, before the pits closed. Dixon was up to 7th. Sato was running 6th. Michael Young?
Carlos Munoz with a good stop. He came in as the leader, will go out about halfway down in the pack. Was able to get out in front of the Takuma Sato machine, so good stop for the Munoz gang. For James Hinchcliffe, lap 144, he got on the radio and radioed into Robert Gouet, his race strategist. How soon are we going to pit? I have no grip. He was begging for a pit stop, and that caution came just at the right time. Helio Castroneves, no changes on his car. Joseph Newgarden, they asked if he wanted to do a front wing change. He said no, he was good. So that car extremely good at the latter stages of this race. Dave first?
Yeah, J.R. Hildebrand feels like the car is coming to him a little bit. He was riding as high as 10th here this afternoon, but a bit of a lengthy stop. They had trouble packing the car full of fuel, so it was a 10-second stop that cost him some spots. Look out, though, for Sebastian Bourdais. Jimmy Vasser's guys have him now in the top 10, and they might feel like they've got something to go here the rest of the way. Rob Howden?
Hey, guys, Graham Rahal very upset with when that yellow came out. He was expecting to come in and really get a good run here to try to work his way into the top 5. Instead, got caught out by the yellow. He said over the radio, there goes our race. They actually brought him in as soon as the pits opened up. Just a quick splash of fuel for Rahal. Brought him back in again to put on the new Firestones. 8.8 seconds to pit stop, and he has cycled his way down into the 12th position right now. Rahal losing a ton of time here as we go back up pit lane to Michael Young.
Yeah, for the rest of this race, it's going to be just small adjustments. A lot of these teams, especially our leaders, talking about what Carlos Munoz came in. But for Helio Castroneves, Joseph Newgarden, and James Hinchcliffe, small tweaks. They feel very comfortable where their cars are right now. Potential that the cloud cover comes back. It did throw Joseph Newgarden's car off a little bit, but they were able to make a slight air pressure adjustment to fix that. Back to Kevin Lee.
Keep in mind, still one more stop to come, but the way this works out great for race fans. We shouldn't have to think about fuel saving. It should be an easy number to make the rest of the way with one more stop. Tony Kanaan keeps getting better and better, and keep in mind, not only did he start 18th, but he took contact on pit lane. Will Power was penalized for that early, scraped the inside of the pit wall, and then he took debris during a crash in his hand that was bothering him a while in the race. Kanaan's race car is good, Rob.
Matthew Brabham having a great race there as he's worked his way from the very tail of the field. Was actually up into the 14th position at one point. Car very good, the Team Pertec entry. He was complaining of a vibration late in the runs, but otherwise he was able to work his way up into the top 15. He cycled down now into 20th here after the pit stop, but Matthew Brabham in his rookie Indianapolis 500 running in the top 20.
Sweepers out on the course. The wave around underway. That puts Helio Castroneves, Tony Kanaan, Joseph Newgarden, James Hinchcliffe, and Sebastian Bourdais in the top 5 with 45 laps to go here at the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500.
This Memorial Day weekend, Navy Federal Credit Union would like to salute all of our men and women who are serving or have served in the armed forces. Thank you.
When's the best time to enjoy Twisted Tea? Why don't we do a little day drinking? A hard iced tea brewed like a beer that tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real iced tea. Hanging out at the pool, fishing with your buddy. Twisted Tea hard iced tea tastes great anytime. Cool, refreshing, smooth, but with a kick. Why don't we do a little day drinking? Twisted Tea, real iced tea taste with a kick.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
I'm IndyCar driver Marco Andretti, and when the voice in my stomach asks for a snack, I grab all-natural Oberto beef jerky, the most delicious lean protein around. Oberto is packed with savory cuts of lean beef that satisfies my hunger for 500 miles. When the voice in your stomach says it wants a nutritious snack, drive as fast as you can, drive responsibly to your nearest retailer and pick up a bag of all-natural Oberto beef jerky.
Oberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Oberto's all-natural line of beef jerky. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Chad's Repair and Service is Monroe County's newest automotive and light-duty diesel repair facility. Owned and operated by Chad Olson and Janet Neal of Ellettsville. Chad's offers complete automotive repairs on import and domestic cars, light and medium-duty diesel trucks. Chad's also offers free diagnostics and only $50 an hour labor rate. Give Chad a call today, 812-345-0432, to schedule your appointment at Chad's Repair and Service, Ellettsville.
This is Bill Bates with Bates Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your only Bryant factory authorized dealer in this area. Served this area for 48 years with 3 generations to serve you for quality service and installation. We now have 0% interest for 36 months and accept all major credit cards. Take advantage of factory rebates, utility rebates, and federal tax credits on geothermal equipment, generators, high-efficiency heat pumps, gas furnaces, and air conditioners. Let us design a system that will give you greater comfort and efficiency. Call Bates Mechanical now for a free estimate on a new system.
Call 332-7000 or 829-3156.
Classic hits, WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
156 laps are complete. The pace car remains on course with the field in tow. And Davey, just as we suspected, now that the dust has settled and the wave around has occurred, looky there, Elio, Kanaan, Newgarden, and Hinchcliffe all running toward the front.
How about one that we just brought up, J.R. Hildebrand?
Bourdais, too?
Yeah, Bourdais. And Hildebrand, one-off guy. You know, just came here to get in that Ed Carpenter racing car, finds himself in a good position. Will Power struggling all day. Remember, went a lap down. Cedric did his magic. Got Power up in that 6th spot, right on the same strategy as everybody else. It doesn't seem he has the speed in that car as Castro Neves does, but, boy, that is good strategy by Tim.
Donald Davidson at 95 it was. Jacques Villeneuve got 2 laps down early and came back to win that race.
Indeed, and he was able to make up the 2. A lot of people say, well, he went 505 miles. Well, what he was able to do is to make a very strategic pit stops and was able to make both laps up. Not on the racetrack, but through yellows coming at the right time.
The 22 of Simon Pagenaud will have to go to the back at the restart, violating the speed on pit road. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network.
Broadcasting from the Mid-America Bloomington Studio Complex, this is Classic Hits.
WCLS, Sensor, Bloomington, Ellettsville.
Classic Hits Radio.
Off of turn number 4, green flag is out as the pace car pulls onto pit road. Tony Kanaan splits Elio Castroneves along with Joseph Newgarden into turn 1.
2 of the crowd favorites, they're running 2 wide, the first 2 rows, side by side, and they touch very briefly as they head to the south chute.
Newgarden keeps his foot in the pedal, and he stayed to the outside. Couldn't get around Tony Kanaan, though. Kanaan, Newgarden, Hinchcliffe, Castroneves safely out of turn 2.
Bourdais went wide in that in turn 1, wisely backed out. 3 wide at the back right now, and up front on Memorial Day weekend, the United States of America in the form of Joseph Newgarden at turn 4.
He's got a darker blue machine. He's got a 2-car length lead over Kanaan, but Kanaan looking to the inside to make the pass.
Great run off of turn number 4 by TK. Going to take the lead at the Yard of Bricks. He will lead by a nose over Joseph Newgarden into 1.
Everybody's standing down here. It is TK. Tony Kanaan. He's got the lead into turn number 2.
It's a Brazilian, then an American, a Canadian, another Brazilian, then another American. How about J.R. Hildebrand, Jake Query, as he's into the top 5?
There are 7 different nations that have led this race from 5 different continents. Right now, the Brazilian Tony Kanaan sees Joseph Newgarden go to the bottom side. Newgarden back to the point.
Again, exiting turn 4, has regained the lead over Tony Kanaan. Will Kanaan make the pass?
James Hinchcliffe is right there. Kanaan looks to make the pass. He moves to the left of Joseph Newgarden and takes James Hinchcliffe with him.
They are going in tandem, nose to tail. Hinch has got the number 2 spot. There goes Tony.
You can feel the energy. It's just ratcheted up as we've entered the final quarter of this race. Tony Kanaan, the leader off of turn 2.
TK and Hinchcliffe went Michael and Mario Andretti on Eddie Cheever right there. Right now, the leader is Tony Kanaan, but Hinchcliffe is going to go to the bottom side. Castroneves is going to follow along. Castroneves with Newgarden trying to hold him up. That's the battle for 3rd.
There's a pass in the short chute they've entertained through the first 3 quarters. Making that pass was Newgarden around Castroneves.
Now J.R. Hildebrand wants a piece of 4th place. He goes to the outside of Elio Castroneves. That's the battle for 4th into 1.
For just a moment, they were 3 wide. It is still, though, out in front. Hinchcliffe, James Hinchcliffe out in front.
Hinchcliffe, Kanaan, Newgarden, then Hildebrand, who was able to slip around Elio Castroneves. They're all still chasing James Hinchcliffe, though, Jake into 3.
Go file I say that, and then all of a sudden, down to the bottom goes Kanaan. It's Kanaan and then Hinchcliffe, Newgarden. You wait, then it's Hildebrand, and then the back marker of Hunter Ray before Castroneves.
Yeah, they are testing our skills here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now it's Kanaan, about 10 car lengths ahead of Hinchcliffe.
Davey, trouble for Elio
Oh, yeah, we're in the
Castroneves.
wall right now. Looks like either Sada or Hawksworth got the wall off turn 4 yellow right now. Good timing right now, I'll be honest with you, for one guy. It's Sato. And that's Elio Castroneves. When we come out for break, I'll explain.
Yep, trouble for Elio Castroneves prior to the contact by Takuma Sato here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Today's race is brought to you in part by Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, the #1 thermometer used by doctors and hospitals nationwide. Race to your local retailer to pick one up for your home today.
You always get the best of it. The healthy, wholesome best of it. In good, lean meat, the best to eat is stark and Wetzel meat. You always get the best of it. The savory, flavory best of it. Get variety, top quality with stark and Wetzel meat. Tender wieners, stark and Wetzel wieners. Rich, juicy meat, and plenty of it. Sugar-cured bacon, stark and Wetzel bacon. So flavorsome and lean, that you love it. You always get the best of it. The tangy, tasty zest of it. For good, lean meat, the best to eat is stark and Wetzel meat.
Hear that? That's the sound of you creating your own destiny. While others are waiting in line for brunch, you're spending Saturday in the garage. Because you went to advanceautoparts.com, ordered a platinum battery with a 3-year replacement warranty, and picked it up in-store just 30 minutes later. Now, installing a battery isn't an all-day job, but what the brunch crowd doesn't know won't hurt it. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage. Visit advanceautoparts.com to learn more.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your phones. Before the green flag flies at the Indy 500, download IndyCar Mobile from Verizon. You'll have access to team radio feeds, telemetry data, live in-car cameras, and yes, the sounds. Get the app and go inside IndyCar. Only on Verizon. Data usage applies. Available on select devices.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Experience the difference at Bloomington Ford Lincoln, where you save thousands in minutes with no games or tricks, but an experience you're going to love. Don't just take our word for it. Hear what our customers are saying about us.
My entire experience from beginning to end with Bloomington Ford was wonderful.
Bloomington Ford delivered an exceptional experience, and their no-hassle approach and extremely competitive pricing made buying a breeze.
The whole experience was simple and seamless. The sale was low-key, and the atmosphere there is a bit different from other car dealers. I would suggest going there first to see for yourself.
Bloomington Ford Lincoln's 3-month, 3,000-mile limited warranty was a cherry on top for our peace of mind.
We invite you to experience the difference for yourself, or simply Google Bloomington Ford Lincoln and read what our customers have to say. Experience the difference at Bloomington Ford Lincoln. Their goal is to redefine what a world-class experience should be. Bloomington Ford Lincoln, 2200 South Walnut, across from Bloomington High School South. Call 812-213-4203 or online anytime at bloomingtonford.com.
It's race day on 97.7
WCLS.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Another round of stops here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Let's start with Michael Young.
Boy, the 4th and 5th place drivers at the time, Joseph Newgarden and James Hinchcliffe, had great stops, but Hinch, the master again, that Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports team, was amazing. He was able to get out first on pit lane, but out of nowhere came Tony Kanaan. But follow this up with Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon finished with that stop and was able to leave pit lane third of all the drivers. A great stop for that Target Chip Ganassi team. Let's go down to Kevin Lee.
And one of the reasons why they were able to get out quickly, no changes. What every team manager and engineer wants to hear. When Tony Kanaan was asked, what do you want? Nothing. Car is great. in here right now with Elio Castro-Neves, the Pennzoil machine, into pit lane. No tires, a little bit of fuel for him right now. They didn't change the rear wing at this point, the pod either, so it's sitting here. I'll have a good look at it. Back to you guys.
Costly stop for Sebastian Bourdais, who came in for 4 tires and fuel, but as he was exiting his pit stall, he stalled the number 11 hydroxy-cut machine. Ended up being a 24-second stop. Good news is it was under caution. The bad news is he was approaching the top 5. So all of a sudden, Sebastian Bourdais with his work cut out for him, Rob Howden.
Yeah, Dave First actually sitting right here with the rear wing assembly of Elio Castro-Neves, and we talked about the fact that they installed the tethers on these rear wings and the wheel pods. That's the only thing that was holding the left wheel pod on, was that tether, down to Kevin Lee.
So here's the real story. Can they all get home the rest of the way? Maybe. They're going to need yellow to get it done, though.
166 laps complete. J.R. Hildebrand, Alex Tagliani, Hitch, Kanaan, Dixon, Newgarden, Munoz, Power, and Rossi. Kimball, the top 10. And Davey, interesting decision by Hildebrand to not come to pit road.
Yeah, well, he's leading the race right now, and he found his way to the front right now. So a little bit of a gamble. You can, right now to make it the rest of the way is very, very tough. You're going to need some more yellows to do it. It could possibly happen, but something's going to have to happen again, not just this yellow.
Yeah, this caution will not do it.
But the crazy thing is what started this whole thing. We was watching Elio Castro-Neves, and I thought, well, he got hit in pit lane by Townsend Bell earlier on, and we seen his left rear pod behind the left rear tire come off. And I thought maybe it was because of an incident early on with Bell. But it wasn't him. It looked like J.R. Hildebrand, when he went to pass Elio, got the nose piece underneath that pod, which broke it and left that left side pod. Means Elio was out there as a sitting duck, but at the same time, with his fortune, Sato just got up a little too high, pushed up, and barely grazed the wall off of turn 4. Matter of fact, soft enough to where it bit things, but he made it around to pit lane.
Well, the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway joins us here in the booth. We'll be visiting with him momentarily. We'll let this restart get settled just a bit. J.R. Hildebrand with a field in tow sees Ryan Hunter-Ray pop to his outside. And Townsend Bell giving chase, but the rest of the field just behind him.
They come almost 3 wide again. Ryan Hunter-Ray will set the pace as we come to the closing of this Indianapolis 500.
Boy, they nearly went 3 wide. They're going to be bearing down on the back of Hildebrand. He's slow out of turn 2. Jake, here comes Tony Kanaan. He'll dart to the inside.
Kanaan goes to the bottom side of J.R. Hildebrand. Move Tony Kanaan back into the lead at the Indy 500. 4 wide behind him, it's Hildebrand. Then you've got Newgarden, Hinchcliffe, and Tagliani.
Ryan Hunter-Ray is out front. Then you have Townsend Bell. You've got Tony Kanaan, the bright blue machine. He leads the Indianapolis 500.
So we are focused on the 3rd car in line. That's the car of Tony Kanaan. He's your leader. He's into turn 1.
And he's got his sights set on the car Leonard Putnam, which is Ryan Hunter-Ray. Tony Kanaan trying to make that move in the south end.
So it's the 2 lap cars of Bell and Hunter-Ray, then TK, then it's the Ed Carpenter Racing teammates. First it's J.R. Hildebrand, then Joseph Newgarden running 3rd.
It was the 100th anniversary race. J.R. Hildebrand came within a turn of winning. Now he has his turn up front and the 100th running. But Tony Kanaan got around him, so too now does Joseph Newgarden.
There are just 32 laps and Tony Kanaan in command. He's got the lap cars in front of him. Looks like he's down the front straightaway with the lead.
Joseph Newgarden will pick off Ryan Hunter-Ray next. He wants to keep track of Tony Kanaan into turn number 1.
And Tony's kind of jammed in that number 3 spot of the field right now. And again, he pulls up, may make the pass in turn 2.
Oh boy, Tony Kanaan had to check up for the lap car of Spencer Piggott. Now it's Joseph Newgarden who has to navigate the Piggott machine. Newgarden will jump to the inside. Tony Kanaan's still the leader halfway down the backstretch.
Under a sky that's tried to be blue all day, it's blue up front in terms of cars. Tony Kanaan, then Joseph Newgarden, then that lap car of Spencer Piggott before James Hinchcliffe.
They exit the short chute on the north end, turn 4. Tony Kanaan with the lead.
30 laps remaining this time by. Let's welcome the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Doug Bowles. And Doug, congratulations. That's all I can say.
Well, this is really a tribute to our fans, right? I mean, I look at hundreds of thousands of people here. I just want to say thank you for making this It's the best race I can remember, and this is my 40th in a row, and this is all about the fans. I really appreciate everybody being here. And the racing's awesome, man.
So many people came together to make this happen. Let's talk about the 100th Host Committee and their efforts throughout the last several months.
You know, this whole community, kind of Allison Langdon pulled everybody together, and this community, whether they're sitting here in the grandstands today or whether they're at home watching it on TV or listening on the radio, this community embraced this event, and the energy level in Indianapolis and in Indiana has been at a level I've never seen before.
I'm sure there will be an extensive post-mortem, but you have to be very, very satisfied. This plan, those behind the scenes might not say it was executed to perfection, but for those of us watching it, it seemed to be.
We had some hiccups. We have a few things. We're just going to get better with it as we go. We just hopefully we get everybody out of here and in a way that's quick, but right now I don't think anybody wants to leave. This racing's outstanding.
And again, the level of importance, the theme fast forward. You said it 100 days ago. Not just about the 100th, it's setting up the next 100 years.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't just about looking back. This is about looking forward at the same time, and I'm hoping that, I'm reminding fans today that 364 days from today, May 28, 2017, will be the 101st, and starting tomorrow, I'm going to tell you that's the most important race ever run here.
Are you going to sleep for maybe a week or two after this weekend?
No, we got an SVRA race coming up. We got a Brickyard coming up. We got an air race. I'm going to sleep in November.
Yeah, no rest for the weary. Thank you very much, Doug Bowles,
you.
the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Again, a job done very, very well. Tony Kanaan, Joseph Newgarden, James Hinchcliffe. Seems like we've been talking about those guys all day, Davey
All
Hamilton.
day long. As a matter of fact, Tony Kanaan, he's leading the field by a ways. 0.3 of a second. It doesn't seem like that much, but you're on a racetrack trying to catch that guy for Newgarden. It's a long ways, but what a great show right now. I mean, it's like I say, it's a gamble. I don't think you can make it on a pit stop without a yellow or without another pit stop without a yellow. So these guys. It's going to be a shootout at the end no matter what.
Scott Dixon, Carlos Munoz, two other guys that have had pretty good days, Davey.
Yeah, for sure. Scott Dixon finds him, even though they got caught out of that pit strategy, if you remember. They still find themselves in 5th and 6th position right now. And hey, how about Newgarden or Hildebrand, who found himself out? He's in 4th place right now.
As, again, we get to the final stages of this race. We have had 48 lead changes, 6 cautions for 46 laps. Let's welcome back in Paul Page. Again, lap 173. And, Paul, it's just been interesting over the last 40 laps or so to watch the varying pit strategies come into play. And now that all the cycle through, the suspects at the beginning are right there at the end, Kanaan, Newgarden, and Hinch.
Yeah, but let's remember that one thing. I think Donald brings it up the most. 160, the leader. Doesn't necessarily make it to 170, 180 the leader. Doesn't necessarily finish as the leader. Some great moves there. Yeah, Kanaan, Newgarden, Hinchcliffe still up front. Hildebrand, track actually owes him one because of that last lap accident when he had the win totally in hand. Interesting to watch the fastest rookie in the field, Rossi, in the 98 car. They've got him in a pretty good position as well running to the finish. So right now it's go as fast as you can go. If everything works out, that's the order as it's going to approach the finish, not necessarily the order when they get to the finish.
Well, let's get your thoughts and impressions of just the order of this day. This place totally empty when the sun came up, and now look at what we see here. This is most appropriate for the 100th Indy 500.
Oh, this is perfect for the 100th. This is one of the best ever. Just a fantastic run in front of a fantastic crowd. I got the chance to walk down to the base of the tower here in the pagoda for just a few minutes, and the crowd is gigantic. In the stands, outside the stands, and most importantly, Mark, is they are all smiling. They're all having fun.
We will talk to you again after Victory Lane. That's Paul Page. Happy to have him with us here throughout the course of this 100th running. Again, 176 of the 200 laps complete. Tony Kanaan, Joseph Newgarden, James Hinchcliffe 1 through 3. Hildebrand 4th, Munoz 5th, Dixon 6th, 7th is Rossi, 8th Tagliani, 9th is Kimball, 10th is Servia, 11th is Rahal, 12th is Andretti, 13th Castro Neves, 15th Power, 14th Power, 15th Chilton. Pippa Mann is 16th. Sebastian Bourdais is 17th. 18th is Bradham. 19th is Pagano. 20th is Chavez. Bell is 21st. Hawksworth 22nd. Clausen is 23rd. Ryan Hunter-Ray is 24th. Spencer Pickett 25th. Takuma Sato out of the race. He is 26th. 27th is Aloshin. 28th is Wilson. Daly 29th. Lazier 30th. All of these drivers out of the race. Carpenter 31st. Sage Karam 32nd. Juan Montoya 33rd here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Giovanni crosses into the box for the header.
In other news, the official guest list for the big party in Paris.
Your summer kiss is sweeter than an...
Sometimes things come out of nowhere. That's why the all-new 2016 Chevrolet Malibu can be equipped with available low-speed front automatic braking that can engage at speeds below 50 miles per hour. Because you never know what's coming next. Introducing the all-new 2016 Chevrolet Malibu.
There are more than 32,000 different beers out there, and yet light beer is one of the hardest beers in the world to brew. Why? Because there are no heavy flavors to hide any imperfections. And Miller Lite just happens to have won more gold medals than any American light beer. Now there's some barroom trivia for you. It's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2016 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounce, 96 calories, 3.2 grams carbs, 1 gram protein, 0 grams fat.
This is the Advance Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network. Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
The purchase of a memorial is a very important decision, yet some people put it off until it's too late. I think you'll agree that the purchase of a memorial is an important decision and should not be made under the stress and strain of losing a loved one. Everlasting Memorials in Bloomington and Spencer Monuments in Spencer have a wide selection of sizes and styles of granite and bronze memorials. Stop by or call 812-334-2068 for an appointment. Select your memorial today.
At ISU The May Agency, we take pride in being a family-owned company serving clients nationwide where personal attention and enduring relationships are premium. At ISU The May Agency, we offer all lines of insurance from individual homeowner and automobile policies to life, health, and various other types of insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call ISU The May Agency, 334-2400. ISU The May Agency, where we are not about collecting premiums, but establishing relationships. 1327 North Walnut, Bloomington.
Classic Hits 97.7.
From the Firestone broadcast booth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
20 laps to go in the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Tennessee and Joseph Newgarden has the lead into turn number 1.
And he is going to have to shake the pressure being put on by Tony Kanaan as they run literally nose to tail on the south end of the racetrack.
Yeah, the gap is only about 3 or 4 car lengths. Then about 20 back to third place running James Hinchcliffe, J.R. Hildebrand, and Carlos Munoz. Jake, it's a 5-car breakaway down the backstretch.
It was with 21 laps to go that car 21 went to the lead. That in the form of Joseph Newgarden. You wait, and then Kanaan. Sizable gap before Hildebrand, Hinch, and Munoz.
The place to be has been second place here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's where Tony Kanaan is, looking for the pass.
Kanaan with a good run at the start-finish line, going to work his way around Joseph Newgarden. They head into turn number 1.
He will, and he's still got Townsend Bell out in front of him. But here we go now. That's the change, and that's the way they'll go into the south end.
So Kanaan will slip around Newgarden. They'll race off of turn number 2. They're a different shade of blue out of turn number 2 by the Swedes.
Joseph Newgarden went in disguise on media day to interview his competitors, but he's not been incognito today. He's trying to reel in Tony Kanaan, who has a 2-car length advantage out of turn number 3.
And Joseph Newgarden right on his tail as they exit the short chute on the north end. Inside the white line, they exit turn 4, 3-car length advantage, Kanaan.
Updates for pit road. Let's start with Michael Young.
Yeah, on this end of pit lane, just heard the James Hinchcliffe pit. Robert Gouet, radio to Hinch. We cannot make it. Full rich, go as fast as you can. We're going to have to pit one more time. Also hearing that Joseph Newgarden will be to 3 to 4 laps short. Really playing the fuel strategy right now at the end of pit lane. Kevin Lee?
And we have different strategies. Some are going full rich because they know they can't make it. Others, including Scott Dixon, are trying to save. He's the best in the business at getting this done. Mike Hull told him the number. Scott said that's pretty much impossible. Hull said that is our only chance. Rob? Kevin, I'm hearing they're going full lean for Graham Rahal. They believe Graham can go the distance. It's going to be very close, but Rahal's going to try to roll the distance. That was the call to Graham. We are going to go the distance.
And J.R. Hildebrand just now getting his equipment laid out. We expect to see him in the next lap, riding as high as 4th after he led there for a bit after the caution flag. He needs a splash of fuel to go the rest of the way.
Davey, guys trying to make fuel. Can they do it?
This is going to be crazy, Mark, because these guys going super lean, going slow on the racetrack, may be way back in the field. If they cut out a pit stop, we've seen it happen before. Danica won her race in Japan like that. Doesn't matter how you get done. It's strategy is part of our sport. And I'll tell you, we could just put a bunch of marbles in a sack right now and throw them out because who knows.
Joseph Newgarden continues to clear traffic. Tony Kanaan is trying to do the same. Newgarden works his way into turn number 1. We see the 6 of J.R. Hildebrand. He makes his way onto pit road for his final stop. The crew going to the attention of the car of J.R. Hildebrand. Hildebrand waiting on the 4 Firestone Firehawks, waiting on the fuel to be topped off.
Delay
it's about
right
a
rear.
7 or 8 second left. Dave, first you're down there.
Yeah, there was a big delay on that right rear, and that cost J.R. Hildebrand a couple of seconds. And at this point in the race, boy, that is huge.
Again, Newgarden, Munoz, Hinchcliffe, and Dixon. Davey, it's all going to come down to pit strategy.
Oh, it sure is. And these guys up front, Munoz finds his way into second right now, but they're on the same pit strategy. Matter of fact, the top 7 guys all got the same. Bourdais, he's the one that has the most fuel. Not Bourdais and Simon Pagenaud, I think, are on the same strategy as far as pitting. Yeah, that's right. They're both at 166 was the last time they pitted. So if they're going super lean, they may have a shot.
Gabby Chavez stands at 169, but is a lap down. So, Davey, that's when we start looking at the fuel strategy and exactly how it comes into play. When we start looking at those numbers, those 1 or 2 laps, boy, that's a fine line,
huge,
but it's just
right?
enough, isn't
because
it?
that's what they just told J.R. Hildebrand, Joseph Newgarden, that they're 3 laps short. So if they're 3 laps short, well, those couple, matter of fact, he's playing with his teammate right now, which is J.R. Hildebrand, who just went a lap down.
Newgarden works his way around Hildebrand. Hildebrand sees Munoz behind him, Nick Yeoman.
Yeah, they will race out of 2. Newgarden with the lead, then Hildebrand, and about 10 to 15 car lengths back is Tony Kanaan. So, Jake, Tony Kanaan starting to back it off a little bit, saving fuel.
Well, and you wonder as well at this point with Newgarden, and then, as you mentioned, you've got Kanaan, Munoz up there as well. Chris, you got to wonder if aerodynamics don't come into play, doing a little drafting strategy for fuel.
There's no question about that because these guys had to fight through some lap traffic.
Hildebrand is working on Newgarden. They're at the start-finish line. J.R. Hildebrand into turn number 1.
And Hildebrand will get the lead. I'm not sure it makes much difference right now who's in front. We're going to find out in about a dozen laps or so. Already at 2.
So Hildebrand slips in front of Newgarden, who's still the leader, but he can play friends. As you mentioned, Jake Query, if Newgarden and Munoz can use Hildebrand to draft, they can save some fuel.
Remember when Hildebrand led this race late in 2011, everyone conserving fuel. Hildebrand, then Newgarden and Munoz right behind him trying to reel him in.
And again, the place to be all day has been in second or behind the leader. Now Hildebrand's not leading, but that's where Newgarden is.
Mike?
Davey and I have been taking a look at the lap times, and it's interesting. Simon Pagenaud pitted 2 laps later than everyone else during that final sequence, and Pagenaud right now is running lap times that are a full second to a second and a half slower than the leaders on the track right now. And Davey, if we're hearing correctly, if it's 3 or 4 laps short for these guys that pitted on lap 164, Pagenaud, it looks like, is going to be the first car able to make enough fuel to get to the end of this race on the load that he's got in the car right now. Bourdais is still running much quicker than Simon Pagenaud. Yeah. So it could be very interesting, Mark, here in the final couple of laps as we see perhaps as many as 12 or 13 cars have to peel off for one last splash and go just to get to the end.
10 laps to go. Carlos Munoz into turn number 1.
Carlos Munoz has really been a surprise. Surprised that he hasn't won before now. Well, he is a guy on the march right now.
That Colombian driver's just been fast every single year he comes to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jake, we haven't said much about him, but Munoz to the lead with 10 to go.
Roberto Guerrero, Juan Montoya, Carlos Munoz. 3 guys that finished in the top 2 in their rookie year, all 3 from Colombia.
This is another Andretti Autosport car that has moved to the front. Munoz has the lead.
Davey, it's interesting to note when they come off of turn number 4, we've got one eye on the racetrack and one eye on pit road.
It's unbelievable because we're waiting to see what's going to happen, who's going to make it. And by the way, this all goes away if the yellow comes out. Just remember, it all goes away. Some guys may have to pit, some may not, but it's still going to be a shootout. And right now, Carlos Munoz, he's on the same strategy as everybody else. It's a Honda, Chevy, Honda in the top 4. Which one's getting better mileage? We'll soon find out.
Munoz, Newgarden slipping in front of Jake Query.
As a matter of fact, Kanaan is right there in that mix as well, but everybody involved in turn number 4.
They are running into lap traffic as now it's Kanaan. It's Newgarden trying to make the pass.
And we see a drag race at the start-finish line. It's Joseph Newgarden running with Carlos Munoz into turn 1.
He's going to get the job done too, Mark. It's just like you're not quite sure what's going on out there. This This is crazy over in turn 2.
These drivers battled for many years in Indy Lights. Newgarden, Munoz off of turn 2.
Let's just assume for the sake of argument everyone has fuel to the end. Not saying that's going to be the case as they set up, but to let you know how they run right now, it is Newgarden in first, then Munoz, then you wait a while back before James Hinchcliffe in third.
Well, the other blue car, Tony Kanaan, he went to pit road. Newgarden and Munoz stay out on the track.
Kevin Lee, let's call the stop at Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan just came in, so did Scott Dixon, so both of those teams changed their strategy. They say they can't make it, and they're gambling that the rest won't either. The thought would be if Dixon can't make it, I'm not sure if anybody can.
Munoz and Newgarden, Davey, they're not letting up.
They're not letting up. They're going for it. I don't see anybody laid out at this point right now, but, man, the racing is still intense out there.
193 of 200 laps complete. Davey, is it possible for any of these guys to go to the end?
Yeah, well, I have to say Simon's the one that I have to question because he does have a few more laps of fuel. Here he comes down the front straightaway right now. You can see he's way off the pace, running 41.9. Well, he's about a second off the pace right now. But we got to look at Tony Kanaan just now going into turn 1 at full speed. Can he catch him in these 6 laps? As soon as we find out.
So again, 6 laps remaining. Carlos Munoz, P1, then Joseph Newgarden, then James Hinchcliffe. How about Oriol Servia? He runs in the top 5. Rossi has now slipped up to 4th. Now Marco Andretti has come storming back. He's 5th. Then Castro Neves, then Bourdais, then Servia, Pippa, Mann, and Kimball. Davey, some of those positions because some guys are cycling through on stops.
Yeah, right now, and Rossi finds himself, as you say, in that 5th spot. But man, I have to think Munoz, he's laying down laps. Fastest lap that time by his teammate Marco Andretti, second fastest. But I have to. Here comes Simon.
You speculated he might be able to make it, and he could not.
He could not.
So
here comes J.R. Hildebrand, and I think that's J.R. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Newgarden.
Joseph Newgarden makes that long haul down pit road, and he will be with Michael Young.
Yeah, they were talking about taking tires, waiting to see. So far, Tony Kanaan took 4. Hinchcliffe also making pits. They have tires out for him. For Joseph Newgarden, no tires. It's fuel only. They gave him 4 seconds of fuel. He's down and away. James Hinchcliffe, 3 seconds of fuel. He's down and away. That could be the move. Not taking tires here at the late portion of this race.
Don't see that in open wheel racing much, do you, Dave?
Not too often, but very interesting. Here comes our leader, Munoz, down pit lane. But these Firestone tires are so good. And these guys, they think that, if nobody changes them, now Tony Kanaan's got the new ones. We'll see what happens now because he's going to be coming out with these guys.
5 laps to go in the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Carlos Munoz makes that long, slow haul down pit road, and he comes into the view of Michael Young.
Munoz, just a quick splash and go. That was a 4-second stop as well. So for our 3 leaders, all they did was take fuel, all averaging about 4 seconds. It's going to be a drag race when they get back up to speed.
The leader, Alexander Rossi, down the back straightaway in front of Jake Query.
The first 100 years of running at the Indianapolis 500 is down to its last single-digit miles. Alexander Rossi in front of you, Chris.
He's in the Napa machine, car 98, the leader in Indianapolis.
Elio Castro Neves was P2, but Davey, we see that canary yellow car of Elio Castro Neves coming to pit road. He does not have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Yeah, boy, I'm surprised. Rossi's been getting good mileage. He pitted really late last time. And Bourdais, here's Bourdais with 100. He has a few more laps of fuel than Castro Neves and Munoz.
Elio Castro Neves comes to pit road. Michael Young, you have that stop as well.
Yep, Elio Castro Neves, same thing. We're just getting fuel for these final leaders. Only 3 laps to go in the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. 4-second stop for Elio.
Oh, you threw your hands up, Davey.
It's crazy. I can't, Rossi may have something. They may have conserved a new fuel. Looks like Bourdais coming right now. Oh. And who's that? J.R. Hildebrand getting by him right now.
Alexander Rossi makes his way down the main straightaway. He's into turn number 1. So, Davey, we're looking at 198 of 200 laps to go. Rossi continues to lead. He last pitted on 164. Can the rookie pull off the improbable?
He's been saving fuel. He's been going longer than anybody else, but we're soon to find out. He's off the pace for a reason right now, just trying to conserve fuel. Can he make this last lap?
Dave, you saw Sebastian Bourdais stop.
It was fuel only. Remember Ray Haroon, that first Indy 500. He didn't change any tires this last stint. It's a gamble. Guys out here aren't changing any tires. It could be the winning decision for the 100th Indy 500.
White flag is in the hands of Paul Blevins. He's waiting to see Alexander Rossi come out of turn number 4. Tom Hansing is in the stand with him, and there he goes. And Davey, he may be out of fuel. Pankey's very slow in turn 1.
He is indeed. It doesn't sound like he's under power. Left side wheels below the white line. Now with the short shoot. Now in turn 2. He may be done.
That car rolls through turn number 2, and it is under power. He has backed it down big time. Here comes Carlos Munoz and Joseph Newgarden. They're running second and third. Jake Query Rossi still the leader, but he's backed the pace down.
Alexander Rossi, the rookie out of California, is backing up the pace. Carlos Munoz charging. Alexander Rossi into turn number 4 on fumes.
Alexander Rossi for the final time. Exits turn number 4. Here he comes, Mark James.
He may have to coast it across the finish line. Alexander Rossi almost rolling to a dead stop. Twin checkers are out, and the rookie will win the 100th Indianapolis 500-mile race. Carlos Munoz is second. Joseph Newgarden is third. Charlie Kimball fourth. Tony Kanaan fifth. Davey Hamilton won the end of the 120 of the Indianapolis 500.
Unbelievable. I mean, I know this kid. We talked about putting him in the car last year. Great family. What an accomplishment. They did it on fuel mileage. We haven't talked about him that much today, but I'm pretty sure Donald will tell me that he may get Rookie of the Year. I'm not sure.
Michael Young, is it more celebration or shock in the pit box of Alexander Rossi?
A little bit of both, and what a day it was for Brian Herta calling that race strategy. It's tears, it's emotion. Every Andretti Autosport crew member is down here on pit lane as the fans cheer on the winning machine, that number 98 of Alexander Rossi. And you got to feel good for Brian Herta as well in this program they put together so late in the season, getting ready to start this thing. And what a fantastic finish for this young rookie.
The life of Alexander Rossi has changed forever here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
This race is brought to you in part by all-natural Oberto beef jerky with no artificial ingredients or preservatives. Oberto reminds us, you get out what you put in.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. The next time you crave a cold, refreshing iced tea with a kick, try a Twisted Tea, the hard iced tea that tastes just like a fresh brewed iced tea.